The Gwitch agus Fáilte Stock. Welcome back to another Grumpy Bros show, our monthly endeavour to bring you our favourite news, views, and muse. Oh, excuse me. It's February, the worst of all the months, and I'm joined on this another venture again by the same crew, Mr. Stone XB.
Evening, everybody.
Mr. Ferrigan 101.
Good evening, all.
IB Fancy Dan.
How's it going?
And on his sophomore effort, so we expect a lot out of him tonight, is Mr. IB Leo.
That's me, Leo.
It's a me, Leo. How is everyone? How's everybody keeping?
Aye. Still in lockdown.
Yeah, this is like the 97th year now of lockdown.
Feels like it.
I'm quite relieved because I've always told that crazy people don't know they're crazy, and I've started to feel lately that I'm crazy. So therefore, by that definition, I'm not crazy because I know that I'm crazy. So this lockdown's been grand. Not at all breaking.
That was Shaun of the Dead logic right there. Not
Mhm.
Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz. No. What's the other one? World's End. That World's End logic. We don't know that they know that we know, so we're just going to keep on with the plan.
Exactly.
Makes sense to me.
Anything fresh, lads? Not that we can go anywhere to get it. Anybody see that out their front window? Exciting.
I got a new
Half-
camera.
Ooh,
Oh,
very
yes.
nice.
I also got a new camera.
Oh, he's trying to one up him there. Oh, look at that. Go fight.
Mm,
I've actually taken pictures with my camera.
okay. I took a picture.
1-0 to Al. Balls in your court, Foxer. Sir.
I
Go,
did
Make-
not.
go,
I
fight
did
your
not
sports-
take any
sports
pictures.
metaphors there, then.
What?
No, nothing fresh. Been a year of this shite. It's just.
It was very windy the other day.
Was I? It was
Well,
nice looking out the window.
Rained quite a bit also.
Yep.
But look, half of my children are going back to school next week, which is fucking amazing. I
Oh,
love them.
I was gonna say
Goodbye.
you're looking tired there, mate. Jesus.
It's gonna be. It'll be funny because I'd say roughly around 8:30 Monday morning, everybody in Ireland will think there's gonna be like a minor earthquake, and it just will be a whole load of parents jumping up and down, so happy the kids are gone to school
Oh
at
dear.
the same time. But actually, I said I'd share the wealth. I'll share the wealth. Now, this was a picture sent to me by my Aussie friends. This is for hope, boys. This is hope. This is in Australia.
Oh,
Pints. Look at it.
dirty upside down bastards.
Oh, fuck it. I don't care if it was a bad pint of Guinness. Right now, a bad pint of Guinness would be the best pint of Guinness. And whiskey sours they're having as well in a pub.
I was up at ourselves parents' place today, and they've got a keg, like, you know, with a tap on it, like a fresh. I had 3 fresh pints of Heineken with Horse's brother, like, and it was like, I really need the Franciscan well with awesome pizza and
Yeah.
craft beers
Mm-hmm.
and no
Oh,
fucking children.
I'm not even really one for the pub, and I'm just mad for pints now at this stage, to be honest.
I'd say I think we're all feeling the same. It's wearing us all a bit down, huh?
Yeah.
More change.
This particular lockdown, because at least the last time, and I think Mick, you said this, the first one we had, you got a lot of projects done, including some weird go-kart.
It's a
Have
sim
it
rig
hybrid.
rather. Like it's
It's a go-kart without wheels.
So magic cart pit.
Magic carpet, yes, magic carpet. This time, the weather has been cat melodian. We're all working. Some of us from home. You can't do fuck all at night because it's freezing cold, pissing rain, and dark as balls. So you're going from your 9 to your 5, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I'll sit in the house for another 8 hours. terrific.
I've been lucky enough that I've been working so I can get out the house. You know, I'm
Well,
not working from home, so
Yeah.
I know some of you are working from home, so
Yeah.
I feel
Look,
bad
lads,
for
I
you.
just hope we're on the backstretch to fuck like.
We have to be. We have to be now.
Well, vaccines ain't going to be fully done till next year. So,
You know, that's
we've got the
bullshit. They could
AstraZeneca ones.
easily roll out the vaccines.
And we've got the AstraZeneca ones, which are the shit ones, which are only like 75% effective. So even if we get them, we're not going to be really that well protected anyway. So
they're
Tell you what,
basically
no.
like the condom you've been carrying around in your wallet for the last 4 years.
If Dinny down the road told me he was
4
after cooking
years.
up something in his back shed, I'd take it at this stage to just get back to some semblance of normality. Like,
But that'd be it. Like, if they told me I had to get an injection weekly for the rest of my life and I can go outside and do whatever the fuck I want, I'd be doing it. I'd sign up for it. I'd be like, take me straight to Disney World. I don't care. Done. Inject me. Off I go.
Just hook it to my veins.
Mm-hmm. Like a little insulin injector or something. Just something.
Look, I think we probably are on the back stretch. I don't know if it's going to be a short back stretch, but I do think that this time next year, when we're looking back on it, we'll have met up for a Coupla Scoopla. Everything will be better. At least that's my hope for the Grumpy Bros and associates.
Well, one thing that we take away from it is we're all still here, to be honest with you. So that's the main thing.
True.
Yeah.
Although another year, this will be part of me going, take me now, COVID. Just take me now. I don't like this poor purgatory anymore, guys.
Actually, while we're on the subject of still being here, it was 2 years ago today, lads, that I got knocked off my bike. I know some of you won't know what I'm
Was it?
talking about, but
really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
2 years, lads.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I would have said that was like 14 months ago max.
Beast.
The wee black beast.
Pour one out for,
Alright.
or pour some out for one's homies. Just don't do it around your technology, lads. We
They should
can't
rust
afford to
in
replace
pieces.
it yet.
Maybe that's why Swamp Donkey always has so much troubles. Like, he's pouring way too much stuff out for his homies and he's just messing all this. That could be it.
Ah, dear.
Too many homies to pour stuff out for.
I suppose we should discuss some new. That's January and February has been a bit shit for news, really. Let's be honest. But we do have some.
Aye.
So I suppose the thing we usually do is discuss it. So why change a winning formula?
Yeah.
Aye. Let's
So
crack right in.
coming quarter one, the Average Bro review show. I promise it is happening. Mark my words.
It would have happened, only I fucking pulled the pin. And I'll on to that. I had just had a shit sandwich of a week, and I said, boys, not tonight.
But it will happen. We know what we're doing, and we know roughly when we're doing it. And then you'll see it, and you'll be astounded by the complete lack of professionalism. But it'll be fun. So there we go.
And there will be another first-person shoot. That's all ready to rock and roll. We just need to
tie in the time.
Yeah.
Work life, unfortunately, work life and real life, when they clash and combine, gets in the way. But you know, it's gonna happen. All good things come to those who are subscribed and smash the like button and have patience.
And some bad things will come too. But that's it. It's a promise.
But all of them.
Yeah, all of the good things. So to crack into the actual news. There's a new PUBG. What the fuck is up with that? Anyone care to enlighten us?
I got really excited when it was yourself, Mick, put the video up. I was watching it, I was like, this actually looks like it may be quite good. And then I read the description and it's mobile. It's PUBG Mobile. What the fuck?
I do think it looks very good for a mobile game. I'd be very surprised if
does.
this is not coming to PC as well. I reckon they're going to go. I was listening to someone who was theorizing this, like, and he says like that PUBG have lost a lot of ground to the likes of Fortnite and everything else like that. So like, it's not in their best interest to put out a hardcore military shooter across 5 different platforms or whatever the story is. They're going to probably make it more accessible, and I reckon this is probably the foot in the door. It's called PUBG New State. Just to get the name on record. But a lot of it looked very Titanfall, like to me. A lot of the optics on the guns and stuff like that there, and some of the future trends. But it did look very polished up.
Very polished up, Titanfall like, is what I thought.
Funnily enough, it looks far superior to actual PUBG, which has, by my last count, existed for the last 37 years. So
that being said, PUBG on the PC does look pretty good at the moment. Like, and PUBG always put out a great trailer as well. So
I haven't played PUBG and I don't know.
Yeah.
PUBG Mobile though, so just the thing is like they're targeting their most successful market. Like they were the biggest game for a while on PC, but even at their height, the amount of money they make in India alone, just from their PUBG mobile, like it's not even a case of not wanting to compete against Steam, against the other things. It's like they don't have to. They're making an absolute fortune on mobile over in China and over in India.
And the funny thing about it as well, to touch on that, like they actually got banned for a while in India because it was overtly violent. So there's part of me wondering, is this kind of a reimagining with kind of a future slant on it, that it's like in a Matrix effort that there's no one actually dying, because it doesn't actually show anyone getting melted in the trailer. They get knocked and they kind of disappear. So
is there not a lad getting brutally murdered with a frying pan at the end though?
I thought so.
Does China ban violent games? I didn't know that they.
China won't ban it because it's Tencent that own it, no?
Yeah,
China
own a massive part of Blue Hole.
China are very funny about a lot of stuff though. They like Rainbow Six Siege in China is very censored. Like they don't have the skull icon when you die because there's some taboo around that and stuff.
And it's not ha funny. It's the sad funny that they're.
Oh yeah.
Get back to your what you said there, Dennis. It only takes 10 cents to buy Blue Hole.
No, Tencent has got a big stake in Blue Hole or something.
I think Blue Hole is actually gone. It was like crafting games works.
Yeah, it's PUBG Corp now or something, isn't it? The PUBG company or something.
Yeah, they were Blue Hole for a while.
Yeah, back when the paddies were involved. There's no paddies there now, lads.
No.
But I'll tell you where there is a paddy. Rainbow Six. No.
I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, so they had their launch of their season pass. Well, I think they're actually doing away with the season pass now. It's all going to be battle pass. So before, the way it worked was you bought your season pass for the year for the next 4 stages. So each quarter there was 2 new operators released. So they've announced then the roadmap for this year, and in quarter 4 there's going to be an Irish operator. So like it's going to go one or two ways. Like, you know, it's going to be really good. Like it'll be like a Garda fucking rapid response unit, or else he's going to be Seamus O'Brodigan, whose brother Tommy used to make bombs for the fucking Troubles, and you know.
So why not?
Like I was kind of thinking, like, you know, like obviously when it's not your own country, like you don't look at like the French crew and see, are they stereotype city? Like, is it Jean-Paul Baguette and fucking the rest of them? Like, no, but they aren't really, to be fair to them. So it'll be just interesting. I am interested and slightly nervous about how it's going to play out. Like.
Or it could be like your man from Red Dead Redemption 2 with the pure Dublin accent. Oh yeah, I'm after moving here from Donegal.
Alright, bud, yeah, I just come in from Kerry, you know what I mean, yeah? Alright, bud, yeah.
The size of your fucking horse, look at that.
I'll never forget.
Eyes and nose on that, he must do 2 bags a day, what?
I'll never forget The Witcher 2 when you met the army and like everyone had Dublin accents. And it was like you had to find one of them, and he was Langers, and of course he had a big Dublin accent. And oh, Jesus, I was bleeding Lanta.
Yeah, Jay's girl and fucking wasted by 3 bottles of Bucky. Fuck.
I think that fella that was just talking there a minute ago rang the Niall Boiling show once.
He did.
I think he did. Pretty sure I heard that.
Can't trust that guy.
And just curious, Mick, when they release their new stuff, does it add much to the install size?
No, very little. In fact, I think the game sits around 4.7 gigs on PC at the moment.
Oh, Rainbow Six Siege, is it?
Yeah, it's quite small, and it's not massive. It could possibly be, but it stays around that size. It doesn't. It doesn't balloon with every new thing they make.
Not like we'll say a game from Activision. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, man, took over my entire hard drive. Jeez, what the flock.
So in case anybody's wondering, basically, if you have a 500 gig PS4 or I don't know, do Xbox even have a 500 gig option anymore?
Yeah,
the old ones.
original.
Oh no, the Series S is 500
Series
gig.
S
Yeah.
is 500. Yeah.
So if you have a 500 gig option from any of the console vendors, you can literally play Warzone just about. If you have like Black Ops as well, all of the COD is more or less 500 gig now. Even probably too big for 500 gig, which is just mental. Like you need to buy an actual SSD just to play COD on PC if you want to have everything installed. Which it boggles the mind like why it's so big. I know that you can pick and choose to an extent what you want to install, but you shouldn't have to, if you follow me. If I want to buy everything, if I want to pay for everything, and I want to install everything, I should like. There's no game should be bigger than 250 gigs. That's what I think. Doesn't matter. Like,
Yeah, not at the moment, like, yeah, exactly.
And like to look at it, like it's not like there's nothing like it's a first person shooter and it's a battle royale. Like, where the fuck is all this stuff going? I mean, what actually is it?
Well, I think we're missing the obvious cause of it. It's the fact that we have to install shaders every time you load up the bloody game.
Every time there's an update. Oh, what a pain.
You probably don't install shaders over shaders. You just install shaders. It's continuous. Like 500 gigs of Call of Duty, but 400 gigs of it is just shaders. That's it. Anyway, that's look, come here. My take on it. That's my hot take. The install size of games is too big. As it stands.
The install size
is too damn high.
Just too damn high.
I think a lot of the games, Smick, like there's other games that are well in excess of 100 gigs that probably don't need to be. You know?
What size is Destiny 2 these days?
Destiny 2 is in excess of 100 gigs.
I'm just going to say it's 100. I want to say 180 or something.
I don't think Destiny 2 needs to be that big either, to be honest. But if you're a console player and you say you buy the new Series X, say you're one of those who buys the Series X, and you have 1 terabyte, but you actually only have, what is it, 870? 800, yeah. So you want to play Destiny 2, you want to play Call of Duty, and you want to play, what's another big install? I know is Gears 5 a big install?
No.
Big enough. I mean, Destiny 2 on PC right now is 60.65 gigs. Well, God knows what it is on console.
But does that include everything? Like, does that have you all the stuff?
I've got all the stuff.
See, anything with high res assets that's optimized for Series X or whatever is going to be big. Like Gears is quite big. I think it could be 60 or 70 gigs.
Yeah, it was 70 the last time I played it on console now, so I haven't played it on PC.
No, again, it has the excuse of being probably 6 games in one, but I'd say the Master Chief Collection is quite big.
It is, because like each game you can install individually, especially on PC, and each one's quite big.
I wonder what the install size of Warcraft is now.
I'll tell you now in a second.
That's a good question.
Where are we?
Just to interject while we're checking there, Stream Beats have brought out a new rock album, which is, the tunes are interspersed in the background here. I know you guys can't hear them, but they're really, really good.
Yeah. Big up to my main man, Harris Heller.
63 gigs for World of Warcraft.
63 gigs. See, that's insane. And the amount, and I know, obviously, like, Warcraft isn't, how do I say this? It's not
voice-acted cutscenes.
Not even that. It's like, visually, would you say it's a little more on the cartoony side?
Yes.
Would that be fair to say?
Incredibly fair to say.
It's not like hyper realism. Even at that, though, I mean, it's fucking huge. It's a massive world, and it's got what, a quarter, you could say, less than a quarter, an eighth of the install size of Call of Duty. It's mad.
Just to stay on the whole Blizzard thing, did anybody watch BlizzConline?
I watched a few things from it. I didn't watch it live though. But some
I
caught
up on YouTube myself.
I didn't listen to the Metallica concert.
I
mean,
did
not
not.
Not on Twitch,
change up
anyway.
your sound.
DMCA themselves.
I did not, but I want to ask a very, very pertinent question. What have they fucking done to the Blizzard launcher?
Oh,
I like it actually.
me no like it. Me no like it.
No,
I think, Al, we were only talking about this last night or the night
Yeah.
before, whatever night it was. Like, and Dan, you can back us up on this one. The Blizzard launcher has been the same since fucking inception, as far as
Since it launched like 8 years ago or whenever it was.
No, it was pretty basic and pretty shite. And man down.
Man down.
Fancy Danny, okay?
oh my God, grab it.
Can you smell toast?
I can smell a full fucking loaf.
there he
What's
is.
going on?
The Blizzard. Okay, can we get a donations thing going so he can buy a new arm for his?
No donations. I learned it with the own sweat off my back, and since
Can I give you bits on OnlyFans?
Oh, you found my OnlyFans, did you?
We'll pay you in Dogecoin. How does that sound?
That's more than I'm getting paid right now, so that sounds good.
But no, the launcher has been the same as far as I can remember, as long as I can remember, rather. And all of a sudden it changed, and I don't really know how I feel about it, to be honest.
What's changed?
It looks modern.
Different.
And I don't like it. I don't
It's
like
different. We don't like change here.
it. No.
Grumpy pros don't like that. I do say I actually quite like the layout of it, but I understand the annoyance because when you're so used to where everything is, it's just like, fucking stuff's moved. I have to learn where new things are. It's like every time Xbox brings out a new, whatever you call it, menu and stuff.
UI.
Where's my
UI.
favorite? Where's the things that I usually look at, and you have to spend ages looking where they are.
By the time you've learned it, they change it again.
I wonder, is that an age thing with us stuff? Because like I'm definitely at the age now when the kids come to me with the tablet and there's a problem. I can see my own mom and dad in it. It's like, can you help me get this thing out? And I look at it for like 3 seconds, and if I can't figure out immediately, it's like, can't do it. Can't do it.
I'll buy you a new one.
Don't know what to
The
say.
answer to your question is
Can't
yes.
do it.
It's broken.
Go outside and play. That's it.
Anyway, I brought up BlizzCon Online for the fact that they are remastering Diablo 2.
Yeah.
Did everybody see that?
I saw the announcement. I didn't look into it.
I did not play Diablo 2. I jumped
I
straight
didn't
into
either,
Diablo
actually.
3.
I played 1 and then 3.
Yeah.
I loved Diablo.
So
2.
I'd definitely be up for grabbing that and playing it before. I'm assuming that'll be out before Diablo 4.
Oh yeah, that's
I
a
don't know.
pretty soon, isn't it?
The company, they've basically bought a new company, and they're the one that's doing all of the remasters. I don't know when it's going to, and that was only a recent purchase.
Wait, are we
People
still
Can
talking
Fly?
about them, or are we
Probably.
talking about Microsoft?
Diablo, Blizzard.
So they basically they're following what Microsoft do.
Well, basically what they did is they let off a whole load of people work-wise, and then they went, let's buy this other company that'll do the same work for less, with less protection on their contracts and stuff. So.
Ah,
It's the American way.
I see. They've played Knifey Spoony before.
Does anybody remember Blizzard before they were owned by Activision?
Oh
Maybe.
yeah, those are the days.
They were
I
a much
remember,
nicer
like-
company.
I wasn't in the PC gaming circle then. It was kind of after Quake 2 and between then and now, and like it was, Blizzard was always in the gaming press like this. They were the gold standard of companies. Like they didn't release stuff until it was out. It was StarCraft, Warcraft, all those games. Like
Yeah.
they've
I feel
definitely
like we
lost a
have
lot
some
of.
technical issues there.
You all right there, Fancy Dan?
Yeah, I just sorted out the camera. There we go. I missed my camera arm. It exploded.
But yeah, I know what
If
you mean.
anybody
about,
wants to
Blizzard being
donate, it's
kind of cool.
www.buymeanarm.ie.
See its beautiful face, even in better resolution.
Sorry, Leo, what were you saying there? Foxer
Oh,
rudely
and
spoke over you.
I know what you mean, Mick, about Blizzard being considered the gold standard. I had the exact same experience. I wasn't really a PC gamer for most of their kind of golden era. So all I heard was Blizzard this, Blizzard that. They're fantastic. They only make good games. They never make bad games, and everything.
That's and to a certain degree, it's still the same. They won't put out a game if it's not up to scratch. Yeah.
Warcraft 3 remaster, cough, cough. Warcraft 3 remaster, cough, cough.
But
They'll
like,
definitely put it out if it's terrible, just to make money.
but like they seem to be pretty good at turning lead into gold as well, didn't they? Was it an MMO into Overwatch?
Yeah, Titan was going to be their new MMO, and basically they couldn't get it to work. But that's what they say. That our management came along.
That's the story.
Too much money. So the story is that it wasn't working, so they reused the assets and turned it into Overwatch, which is a very good shooter. Awesome shooter with terrible loot box mechanics. But other than that, it's a very good game.
The actual story behind Overwatch. Because if so, then that's actually brilliant management.
Yeah, so that's what the story that was released. But there's been a few articles saying that basically they were on target, but the target was going to be another half decade away to get the game out, and management just went, not happening.
So it turned into a Hideo Kojima type of situation.
No, money down.
Whatever happened to Overwatch 2? Wasn't that released about 2 years ago? It was supposed to be coming like.
No, it got announced last week.
Yeah, they announced it. Well, did you show a bit of it last week? Basically, anybody who's kind of got access to it so far is basically saying it's just Overwatch 1.5. It's not anything fancy.
It kind of looked like that, yeah. It looked more like an expansion than a separate game. But...
Yeah.
Speaking of expansions,
yeah,
an Activision Destiny 2 expansion.
I don't know how to feel about any of this.
See, you're out of the hamster wheel. That's your problem.
I am.
So,
I really wanted to get back in, but look at come here. The previous expansion it didn't float my boat at all. There was too much fuckery. I've gone through this before. I have a lot of ambition to play the Vault of Glass when it's re-released, but that would be my main goal. That would be what I'd be driving at. The rest of it, I don't know. And the fact that they have to delay it now, like, what are they going to fill the time with? You know? Like
this is the biggest thing. Like I stuck with the last expansion probably definitely more than anyone else here. Like, and again, it just kind of hit. It was kind of a weird aligning of the stars because I'm always the first off the fucking Destiny treadmill. Like, I always tap out early, but I stuck with this one for a bit, and it was excellent. The rate is excellent and everything else. But no, they've settled into the seasons, like, and it's very meh.
Yeah.
It's like these extended strikes with lots of enemies, and you just kill them, and then there's a chest at the end, and you break that with a hammer. If you do 4 of them, you can re-roll your engram to get a better one.
And come here to me, I've never been as big into Destiny as the rest of you lads, but I'm after seeing a couple of days ago that Destiny have decided to roll back on the idea of sunsetting weapons.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this is a big deal for the rest of you. Is this a big
Oh, really?
deal?
Yeah. So,
Yes.
some of the stuff from like the last 2 seasons, or anything that can be max power as of this current season, will not be sunset.
Oh, I thought we were going to get our stuff back.
No, we're not there. Like,
Yeah,
again,
so
it's an asset thing. I don't
it's accomplished its it's fucking aim. Like, so like everyone was sitting on vaults of certain guns. Like, it was probably a loot pool of 150 different weapons.
Yeah.
And they said, look, 90 of these now are going out of circulation. You're not going to be able to get these now at the current light level. So they're gone. And you can infuse to get them up to the new level. So that's when everyone started scrapping their stuff, retiring and all that kind of stuff.
Grand.
And then the next expansion came out and they added maybe 20 guns to that. So now you have a total of 40 guns in the pool. And people were complaining, like, which is a valid thing. Like, if you do an activity, you get the same 2 guns again or every time. And now they've decided, look, what we'll do is we start bringing everything back in again. You can infuse it all the way up to the max again. So like they're going to start adding stuff back in again. By the way, taking it out of the vault, but they have cleared the backlog, kind of a thing.
Because I know one of my favorite weapons in that game, and I've talked about it ad nauseam to you guys as well, was the Golden Tusk. As I wanted the sword from the Leviathan raid. It took me a while to earn, and I got it, and it was my favorite weapon in the game. It wasn't the best sword in the game, wasn't it? It was just my favorite. So the way it worked, it was just my favorite weapon, and it's just gone. I was just playing with all the other swords isn't fun. So it's like little small things like that, and then this current expansion is like when you went into Crucible. Now Crucible is nearly always broken in general to a degree, but this time was even more so. Anybody you meet, every time you're getting stomped, it's always by the person who's using the new abilities to frost, whatever you call it, your attunement.
Stasis.
So, yeah, stasis. That's
Stasis, yeah.
Yeah, so nearly everybody, everybody's using stasis because it's literally the best thing in Crucible to use. So I use it to win, but I don't enjoy using those abilities. Like, I was always I just using the hunter substitute. Yeah, it managed to remove a lot of the fun I had in that game, in that expansion, in one swoop. And they haven't tried even balancing out those abilities whatsoever.
No. Crucible seems to be totally parked at the moment, and the PvP, it's not, doesn't seem to be a priority. Now I will say the story is good. Like,
oh, go on.
Yeah, the story is good. It's made the most sense. Like, they actually tied up the whole Exo Stranger story in a way that was even surprising to me that it actually made sense.
I actually really liked it. I have to say that part was funny. The solo part was the best part.
I should probably finish it out. But I was going to say, speaking of PvP trials, I see they're taking emotes and that stuff out of trials because people were like using it to head glitch and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they were
going to third person. There's going to be no third person perspective weapons in trials anymore either.
Yeah. Also, no swords and stuff.
No swords, no.
Well, I think you can use swords if you have ammo for it. Is the plan? But like, you could whip out your sword before if you'd no heavy ammo, and you could still peek the corner. Which, to be honest, I don't have a major problem with it. Like, because at the end of the day, like, it's a valid tactic. Like, people in Fortnite are building fucking castles all the way up to the sky. It's like shotgun fellas in the way down. So
it's PUBG logic. It's like,
it is a skill, like,
It's like when you're in PUBG, you're down to 2 final people, and it's like, logic-wise, I should be looking for them, but what I actually do is I look straight at a tree so I can look around a tree, and it's just it's just the curse of third-person views. The same thing happens in Gears and so on. It's just,
I'll tell you where it doesn't happen. Anthem. Anthem is fucking gone.
Speaking of pouring one out for dead properties.
Pouring out for Anthem.
No, I have to say, I am probably one of the few people who really did enjoy Anthem, and I really had a lot of hope for this Anthem 2.0 business. Obviously, EA, BioWare had less hope than I had, but I will caveat that by saying if they take the resources that they were going to use for that and put them into a good new Mass Effect game, I'm okay with that.
Or they could take all of the assets that they had made for Anthem and just make a kind of an overworld shooter thingy that's just a battleground shooter, and then that could do that.
But I'd say
they're smart, like Blizzard.
The reality is, though, what they'll actually do is probably take all those assets and make a mobile card game.
You're not wrong.
Man. But
cynical in my old age.
News from the EA camp, because of the success of Fallen Order, BioWare are now allowed to make their next Dragon. I know you're not all Dragon Age Inquisition fans, but they're now allowed to make the next Dragon Age Inquisition a solo game.
Yeah.
Before it was going to be a multiplayer game, like a live service thing, but now they're actually allowed to make a solo player game. So,
as far as
like there.
What?
So, and they're also probably coming to realization there's only so many live service games you can bloody put out because,
This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I think in the next 3 years we're probably going to see an EA renaissance, because I think that is it Vince Zampella from Respawn is after being promoted to the head of all their studios, and like you've seen, they've knocked out Fallen Order, they've knocked out Star Wars Squadrons, they've knocked out, what else have they had recently that's really good, well reviewed? They've that VR game. What else? That medal on it. Someone said something there while I was talking.
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends, yeah.
Say what you will about it, it's a damn good game.
It's a great game.
Well, here's the thing. Do y'all remember when Peter Moore took over?
Yeah.
At EA, and all of a sudden they were like the golden company. They could do no wrong because somebody who was an actual gamer was at the head of the table, and that's what they need. They need it's like it's like what happened with Xbox. Don Matrick was in charge, and everything was shit. And see who we have now, and all of a sudden things are good.
Like back in the day when we were playing Mega Drive games, like if you bought a game with EA on the cover, it was going to be a banger. Like you had Desert Strike, Jungle Strike. You lean on to SSX, Tricky, all those classics like Skitchin, Road Rash.
It's in the game. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's in the game, it's in the game. Man.
Can we talk about Jungle Strike for a minute? Because that was fucking unreal.
That was great. The one after that was Jungle Strike, and then there was a third one.
Urban Strike.
Urban Strike. Yeah. Man, I miss those games.
I think they stopped making those because they didn't actually want their employees to get any ideas.
But yeah, so Anthem is gone. Anthem is done. All the fucking money that I invested in that game, buying that Legion of Dawn release. Wow. Thanks EA. Thanks for that.
Which one of us bought that, or did we buy that separately?
I definitely bought it anyway.
I remember spending money on it, so we must have bought it separately.
Wow. That's unusual. It's unusual for us to double up purchases.
Yeah.
On Xbox anyway. Because we cheat to win. By that I mean we game share.
Well, as Eddie Guerrero used to say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Well, yeah. But
the thing is, it looked like there could have been a really cool world in that. And what I would actually really like in the Anthem universe is possibly what I'd like in the Division universe is an actual single-player game that doesn't rely on live service, where you can actually tell a really good story for one person. I mean, they got all the assets there. You can turn that universe around with a good single-player game because the design was beautiful. I like the idea of the last city. It basically builds itself. Like you could expand the city. You can make an amazing single-player game with that stuff.
The flying was cool as well, it really was that kind of Iron Man 1 and 2. Like this armor flies, the jets by flying through the waterfalls and that kind of stuff was class. And it handled just how you wanted it to handle as well. The on-foot stuff, not so much.
It played really well. Unfortunately, I don't think... I always got the feeling they didn't really know what to do with it.
It was like two games that got mashed together. Now, Kif. You're just really slow walking around the last city talking to people for nothing, and then you had the big long load times then to get into your suit and back out. It was weird.
There was a Kotaku article about it or something. Basically, they weren't even allowed during the development. They weren't allowed to compare to other live service games, so they weren't allowed to compare to Destiny 2 or anything like that. They weren't allowed to use anything that would have been learned by looking at them.
Well, we're going to scout this quarterback, but we're not going to take into fact or account the statistics of any other quarterback. We're just going to scout this one guy.
But it really game that's a live service game because all these other things are popular, but don't learn anything from them. It was literally
like, was there an explanation why?
I don't know. It was
they're EA. Come on.
Doesn't know the BioWare management, so it's basically it was all reliant on what they called BioWare, the BioWare magic, which is basically their cover words for supreme amount of crunch, and somehow we still get a good game out the other end. I don't know how. Which is basically it, and it's just failed in their last few games. But that's just
what was the last true good BioWare game?
Jade Empire. Sorry,
maybe not quite that far back.
You know what? You're not so far wrong with that. Jade Empire is probably one of the best RPGs ever.
One of the most
without a shadow of a doubt.
But it certainly wasn't the last.
No. I mean, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer was really fun.
God, who did Fallout New Vegas?
Like as a game, like everything up until the very final ending of Mass Effect 3 was good, really.
even the final ending wasn't the worst.
It wasn't.
That ever.
To be honest, I liked it all. And even then, I actually purposely didn't play Mass Effect 3 for ages and ages. Like, actually got it for like £7 in GameStop for a finish, and played out the end of the trilogy. And like, what was that fucking fuss about? Like, it's grand.
See, it to be honest with you, it was a decent game. You know what? The problem was, it was just.
It was too
high.
high.
It actually broke a lot of promises. Literally, from the first one, they said every decision will have a big impact at the end. And I know it's very hard to design that and plan for it. But by the end, it was
always say that, and it never.
That decision in the first game is like, oh, did you save this person or did you save this? What that? You know exactly what that is, yeah? That is like a half-second part extra longer cutscene at the end, plus 75 to the war effort. That's literally what 90% of what you did in those games of your decisions were. And then your final decision, then the entire thing comes down to one decision at the end, which is, this originally was just
which color do you like more?
It was basically 3 choices, and it was like, okay, I'll choose this color, and like a spaz, I'll shoot this thing that's going to explode as I walk into it, as opposed to shooting it from far away. So there's no part about it that was clever. It was just forced down your throats. And then at the end went, no, you didn't get it. That's what they said to the people. I've annoyed Mick now. I'm sorry, Mick.
And now apparently they've all left.
Oh, Dennis is ranting about fucking Mass Effect 3.
Not again.
Not again. We started. It's our own fault. But basically, what happens is like they just threw it out the playbook out the window. Don't be wrong. The gun
kind of like the Witcher
got a lot better. There was some really good moments in it, but all the good moments in it were moments that were based on stuff that's already happened in 1 and 2. So like,
meeting the Spider Queen,
Doctor,
Doctor
Grunt, and stuff like that. People you meet, you go, that's all because I met them before. It wasn't because we wrote this very well and we made this amazing game. It was like, you are already invested, so here it is. Here's your cookie. Enjoy your sugar rush. And then it's just, don't be wrong, I enjoyed it. But the sad thing about Mass Effect 3 is I enjoyed the multiplayer a lot more than I enjoyed the single player game.
Yeah, and you know what? The multiplayer isn't going to be in the remaster, and I'm not.
What?
Oh yeah, did you not hear that?
No, I was looking forward to that again. I wanted to get my Krogan soldier and just charge it into people.
I was just going to be Frog Dude again. That was it.
That was an Arturian soldier with the heavy machine gun that fires faster the more you shoot it, but with his special ability, you reload instantly, so you're literally like a walking Gatling gun. Fucking love that game.
Not having the multiplayer in it, I think, is going to be a massive downfall for it. And I know a lot of people didn't play the multiplayer, and I feel like a lot of people missed out first time around because it really was great. It not like it was the best multiplayer that ever happened, but there was just something special about it. I think it was just the gunplay and the combination of your space magic and whatnot.
It also won't have the DLC from the first game.
Yeah, there was.
No, you will. You're only missing one DLC. You're missing Pinnacle Station. That's it.
Yeah, that's the one from the first game. Yeah. There was only one DLC for the first game, as far as I'm aware.
Oh.
So I can't. It's been a long time since I played it, but I remember at Pinnacle. You're not missing much about Pinnacle Station. So Pinnacle Station was literally just trials. Yeah. You go in and see if you can kill all these people. And
no, I think there was one other thing. Like there was a Reaper that was invading the place.
Oh no, that was 2. That was the end.
There was no Reapers in the first one. Only the very end.
You found the ship was a Reaper. Yeah. Well, no, there was one the whole way through, and when you figure
yes,
that was a big surprise. That's what 3 was missing, and that 2 was kind of cool, but 3 was just the first one was just like when you start talking to this thing and just going, holy shit, I'm talking to the ship. Oh my god, the ship's the Reapers. Oh my god, the Reapers are the things that killed all the ancients. Oh, that was just so awesome. And it's like there wasn't really any parts like that in 3. 2 was kind of cool, where you found out that
was it 3 where you found that the weren't the big bads?
Yeah.
They've been taken over.
Yeah.
You found out in 1 and 2, they weren't really the big bads in 1 either. They were just following the Reaper. Yeah. Like the Geth were just, and there wasn't all the Geth.
And
so you gotta find that out in the first one.
Well, did anybody ever actually finish Andromeda? Because I don't even know.
No.
I started it, and you know what? There was some good game mechanics in there, but the story was terrible.
I found
hard to
the
get
world build, well, the built worlds, not world building, but the built worlds are very. It's back to that Anthem thing again. It was all very pretty, but there was style over substance in a lot of ways. Like everything looked fantastic, but there was fuck all to it at the end of it.
Because no, I think you're right, Mick. Actually, no, in the second one, it's basically when you find out the Geth aren't the big bads.
And then the third
first
one, you get
The
Legion.
second one begins at you hunting down the rest of them.
One boy.
You get Legion in 2, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you? Is it 2?
You do, yeah. He's in 2.
Yeah. Yeah, so because that's when you find out the Geth aren't all bad. And his loyalty mission was really cool when you go into the Geth cube or whatever.
And you'd hold friction then between him and Tally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like a really cool surprise as well. And the second one was when you find out, oh my god, the collectors are all old ancients that were changed. And then it's like, oh, they're making a human reaper. And everybody's going, you totally, the prevailing story on the internet was, oh my god, what the reapers do is when they get defeated by a race, they copy that race and then they use that ability to beat them race, because so that's why they were making a human reaper. And then like in the first one, you know, the reapers beforehand were like these squid things, so obviously the last race that beat them were this kind of squid race or something. It's just
Yeah, the weird thing there is though that the reapers, like even with the human reaper, I would still assume that their main offensive capability would be the giant fuck-off laser and not the opposable thumbs.
Well, maybe they need opposable thumbs to operate the giant fuck-off laser.
You can't.
If the giant laser comes out of your mouth and your eyes and what? Because like the squid reapers, they just shoot giant lasers and make you think what they want to think, and I don't think that being a human would make that any better.
Well,
but that's just me anyway.
It's not for us to question why, it's just for us to give BioWare all our money.
Do not question the Reaper.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought those 3 games were all very, very solid. I have no quibble or qualm with how they played out.
What I like most about Mass Effect universe was the overarching story. I think the story from start to finish was pretty fucking good. Like it was
plus the
well
amazingly consistent art design.
Yeah,
in the designs of the ships, the citadels, everything else. Like it felt like lived in tech, which is really great. As opposed to, do you know the way sometimes when you go from one game to another, it's like all of a sudden everything looks amazing or looks really different. You know, it's kind of jarring in its own way. Like.
And like every race had their own tech and stuff. Like it felt pretty good. It was like, I think what you call it is like what I loved about like was all the universe is like, because you can play the game to tell the story from beginning to the end, and you don't need to read any of the extra entries. But if you read the entries about what Mass Effect is, like literally Mass Effect is how you travel faster than light. They lower the weight of your ship to 0, so you can travel at the speed of light. Because if you have any sort of weight, the closer you get to the speed of light, or mass, I should say. If you got any sort of mass, the closer you get to the speed of light, you have to spend more and more energy to reach it. It gets to the stage where it's an infinite amount of energy to get to that speed. So they found a way around it by turning your mass down to 0, so you can just go.
It's pretty cool.
And that was all.
I also liked how everything was like there were certain stages of the game that were like an episode of classic Star Trek, where you'd find this kind of abandoned ship and they've got whatever the heck went wrong with it, and you're just there, you're exploring the old ship and you're trying to be like, what happened here? And
it's like a deep space Marie Celeste, and it's like everyone's got
exactly
and then you meet a Hanar and he's like, anxiety.
It's like the Elcor is like
curious rumblings, or the Elcor,
because they don't have any way of expressing emotion vocally.
They just say it. Like
they express all their emotions through their pheromones, but no other race can smell it. So that's why they all talk like that. It's like sadness. Oh man, it's so cool.
I think a big mistake is going back to the well for more of the same stuff. Like, you know, people need to move on to something different. Like
they don't need
certain games can get away with it. God of War got away from it by, you know, taking such a radical shift to the Norse mythology, like, and much like the beloved RPG Final Fantasy VII, like the most logical step for that game. was to create a battle royale.
Well,
In the year 2020, I actually thought this was a
it
spoof when
seems
I woke up
obvious
and
in
looked it up. Like,
I haven't heard anything
what?
about this. I seen this in the notes when
Yeah.
I read them this morning, and I meant to go and Google it, but so you'll have to tell me. Just tell me.
it's a tactical battle royale coming in the Final Fantasy VII universe where you play one of the all capital letters soldier team, and it's on one of their missions. So beyond that, no, I don't know anymore. But I did roll my eyes in the back of my head when I saw it. Yeah,
And it's on mobile.
yeah.
So
You play a prequel called The First Soldier. Holy Lord.
So, I mean, squarely out of ideas, or
how am I going to summon Bahamut?
Who knew you could get this much milk from a dead cow?
Square Enix, apparently.
Well, you know the way
Right.
Square Enix set their sales projections. Like, Hitman needs to sell 17 million copies to be a success.
Mankind, he was a Deus Ex Mankind Divided, needs to have 8 million sales. Otherwise, it's not a success.
Oh man.
I'm just
Speaking-
imagining them going to EA. Oh, go
No,
ahead.
carry on, Leo.
I'm just going to say, I'm just imagining them going the EA route, like Star Wars Battlefront 2, where they just take Sephiroth. It's like, you can play as him, and we just want you to have his experience of achievement, so that you have to play 400 hours to get him,
Yeah.
or spend $99.99.
Another tenner, yeah.
Get you all, get separate all the time.
That's where you're wrong, Mick, because nothing extra in EA has ever just cost another tenner.
Yeah, that's true.
Jesus, I still remember when that Dead Space 3 they brought in microtransactions for that. Jesus, and turned it into a multiplayer game.
Microtransactions even are the worst thing ever. Like loot boxes, I don't particularly mind, but certain types of microtransactions are. Some loot boxes I don't mind, I should say. Like the Mass Effect 3 loot boxes were
But,
pretty
like,
cool.
Our loot box is not the worst of them all.
I would say they're the worst of them all, because at least in the regular microtransaction, you know what you're buying.
They're the scratch cards of gaming, like.
Mm.
Well,
It's
maybe
literally-
I like to play on the wild
Except
side.
you can't get him for your granny for.
It's like it's like the collectible card game booster packs where 99% of the cards you don't even bloody want. It'd be like if Yu-Gi-Oh had 500 billion cards and there was only 10 cards you really wanted.
Don't talk to me about that. Fucking Jesus Christ.
What is it called? Surprise mechanics? Is that?
Mhm. Jesus Christ! My brain just went. No, don't say that out loud. Dad. Don't say that.
What, Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Speaking of battle royales,
Channel strike by talking about it. Sorry.
did anybody see Jeff Keighley's tweet yesterday with the Halo Infinite screenshots that were
Yes.
released?
Yes.
Did anybody see the reply to the tweet from Halo?
No.
No.
No. I don't know. Hang on. Basically, he's put up the screenshots, and Halo have replied with a GIF. It says only the hottest of drops, and the GIF is like a drop pod dropping onto an orbital.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And it's obviously hitting atmosphere or whatever is on fire.
Yeah.
So, Halo Infinite Battle Royale. What we're
I
thinking?
don't know. They seem to have denied it at every turn, though, that they're going to do it. They said the only BRs in Halo are the battle rifles.
Well, you know what it is. Deny.
To be honest with you, I would think the Halo universe would actually have a really cool battle royale.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
it would
well,
it would
If they put a
send it.
twist on it. But so I was just talking about surprise mechanics, and I was gonna segue into one of our later topics. But I might leave that till later.
Will we circle back around?
Yeah.
So moving on to I don't know, PC. Everyone should just buy a PC. There's no need for consoles anymore. All the fucking games from every console are going to be on PC eventually.
Except PlayStation, right?
Except PlayStation, yes. Or
Will
they? Dun dun dun. No, there's a fuckload of PS4 games going to come to PC, right?
Store back sick.
Yeah, like what ones?
they're starting off with that classic hit, Days Gone.
Am I going to be able to play The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2?
That now is a
without buying a PlayStation. This is what I want to know.
I would say conservatively, no. However, I'll
Not
caveat
interested.
that by saying maybe.
I would think
interested.
Who actually do Naughty Dog actually own that IP? Could Naughty Dog just say put our shit on PC now?
No, sure, Sony owns them.
No,
Doesn't he?
yeah.
Do Sony own Naughty Dog? Oh, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Like,
see, I thought they did in my head, and I was like, that surely can't be right.
I read a bit of the interview, and there was two things kind of jumped out at me. It was Jim Ryan, I think, the head of. He said they measured it on two things. Like he said, they looked at how well it was received on PC and the amount of negative blowback they got from PlayStation owners, and they said it was acceptable. They said like that there wasn't so much of a furore between people who had PlayStations, and that the ports were well received on PC. For what was the last one? Horizon Zero Dawn.
We did an amazing port then.
Yeah. It was buggy enough at the start, I think, wasn't it? But they seem to have ironed it out pretty effectively.
I think it's a mediocre game, and I'll fight to the death on it.
I've never played it. It looks interesting, but then robot dinosaurs. I mean,
yeah, it's a third-person Far Cry with robot dinosaurs, is what it is.
There we go.
Quick, but that was just me.
That's going to be the Edge Gaming masterpiece. 9 out of 10. Game Informer. Wonderful game. Absolute balance. Grumpy Bros. Third person Far Cry with robot dinosaurs.
Come here. They didn't call us over optimistic bros. It's fucking Grumpy Bros. Fawning all over your shit, bros. Like,
yeah, fuck you, Linus.
What I will say, Days Gone actually surprised me. I thought it was going to be terrible, but there was moments in it that I thought was actually really good, and it was kind of ruined by the fact that they wanted to make it an open world game. But going by the Grumpy Bros grading scale, it is Far Cry 3 with zombies and bike mechanics. Bike maintenance.
There we go. Not even bike mechanics, because you're not a bike mechanic. There you go.
It's literally bike maintenance. Your bloody bike breaks down every 5 minutes. You're run out of petrol. You swear you were just pouring petrol onto it as opposed to through the engine.
What's his name in that? It's Xavier St. John or something. Fucking porn star, like, it's weird, isn't it?
Xavier St. John, Jesus.
But it was like there's some very interesting moments in it, like, and there's basically just cool parts of the story where there's like humans that are worshipping the zombies.
Yes, as what happens. Speaking of zombies, I just want to segue because I saw something that's coming to Netflix. Army of the Dead,
yeah,
with Dave fucking Bautista, just murdering zombies in Las Vegas because why not?
I got excited.
Oh, this is the Zack
Snyder.
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. The Zack Snyder effort, lads. I'm Zack Snyder. I think he is
overrated.
No,
I don't think so.
I think he's pretty damn good.
As a director, probably. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't rate him highly as a writer.
I don't know.
Did he write Dave the Dead?
Did he write?
No, you're thinking of George Romero.
No, didn't he do a remake?
No.
Or was it Dawn of the Dead?
Oh, the one, the found footage fucking one, was it?
No, the one in the supermarket with Mackay Pfeiffer, where the pregnant woman had a.
Oh, that's the Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Was that?
I thought he directed that. Did he?
No, he directed it. Yeah, I don't know.
Did he write it? Did he write it though?
Well, do you know what we have at our disposal, lads? A wonderful machine called Bing, which I'm going to use.
Let's Bing that, said no one ever.
Now I know we're getting paid.
Ye all thought I was going to say Google.
I thought you were going to say the internet, but
fire up your web crawler.
Directed by screenplay by James Gunn. Well, fuck me, Pink.
Yeah, fair play.
Dawn of the Dead is what he actually did. I'm looking at this movie's history there, and I'm just going, I'm not a massive fan of a lot of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but then you see Sucker Punch and you go, yeah, that's
I loved Sucker Punch. The story was batshit crazy, but
Yeah.
You loved it, right? Sucker Punch, aka Things the Internet Likes, the movie. Dragons, schoolgirls, katanas,
Giant Samurai.
motorbikes.
It was a terrible movie, but it was just some amazing, beautiful. It was like a whole load of beautiful fan-made YouTube videos put together into a movie land or something.
I'm with you, Dennis. I really enjoyed it.
I'm not entirely sure they were YouTube videos, but let's go. He did do well.
I do like that actor. Sorry, not to put in, but that actor that was in Kill Bill, or no, he wasn't in Kill Bill. Anyway, you can live for something or die for nothing. Was the quote from that?
I know he has. I'm looking at his list here. You've got Dawn of the Dead, 300 Watchmen, Legend of the Guardian, Sucker Punch, Man of Steel, 300 Rise of an Empire, Batman vs Superman, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, Wonder Woman 1984, Army of the Dead, The Suicide Squad, The Flash, and Army of the Dead, the prequel. So what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Hang on.
God, I've lost 15. 17. I like 15 out of 17 of those movies. 2 of them I don't like because Superman sucks.
I think Legends of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole is severely underrated.
Ga'Hoole.
My Chemical Romance Desolation Road was amazing short. Yeah, Rod Stewart leaves Virginia alone. He did a good job with that.
Desolation Row. Oh, Oh, did he direct that? Fuck.
See, to be honest, I didn't mind the Man of Steel one. He didn't do. Something about the Watchmen movie. I quite enjoyed it. Half of it.
I liked it. Really liked it.
But it's just the ending just ruined it by making the change that they made to it.
He's only an executive producer on the Suicide Squad because, as we all know, that's being directed by our Lord and Savior, James Gunn.
But I think he's actually he's one of these guys now who's faced a kind of a never-ending tornado of internet hate, and no matter what he does, it's going to be shat on.
Zack Snyder or James Gunn?
Zack.
Right. I quite like his style. I have to say.
I do too. I like the speed up, slow motion, close up, face angling kind of style.
No,
I definitely like more than I dislike.
I'm interested. I'm very in.
I don't hate his movies. I just don't think they're amazing. If you know what I mean. It's just I watch them and they're very entertaining.
I think we will have to rate him by the Justice League Snyder cut. To be honest.
Look, I put it this way, Dennis. There are no Citizen Kane, but that's not to say that Citizen Kane couldn't be improved by high speed, slow motion, zoom ins.
If you had a snow sleigh there, can you imagine?
Oh dear!
Like our JJ Abrams there, slap a lot of lens flare on it.
Lens flare for fucking days. Jesus.
The audience
Christ.
is now dazzled.
That's it.
You know which other director doesn't get a lot of respect, but technically, on a technical level, he's rated very highly by most directors. Michael Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
explosions.
Like,
oh man,
I wouldn't be.
No.
I wouldn't be a fan of a lot of his creative decisions, but apparently on a technical level, in terms of actually making a movie look interesting, he's got all sorts of techniques that virtually.
Yeah, his primary technique is blowing shit up.
No, apparently there's a style of cutting. I'm not a filmmaker myself, but a whole lot of cinematographers.
Are you not? Just I never knew that.
Yeah, his stuff is really interesting to watch. Like there's a sequence in Bad Boys 2 where the Haitians get to a house and there's a gunfight, and he does a kind of rotating camera through two bullet holes with the two boys. That's an amazing sequence.
Oh, he did that in the first Bad Boys as well, where they're standing back to back. I think it was on a highway or something.
They stand up after the car chase, and the camera. That was the first time he ever did it, like the low camera shot panning. But this was taken to the next level again.
See, don't get me wrong. I watch his movies and I go, well, that was awfully entertaining, but I'm not going to remember half of it.
Like I think he pioneered a lot of stuff there as well, like the low shot camera, like strapping a camera to the front bumper of a car, like 3 inches off the freeway as it's going, like to give the The Illusion of Speed.
But I love his was it the Ben Affleck interview? Michael Bay was Armageddon, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know
Ben
exactly.
Affleck interview where before and Ben Affleck is like, so I asked Michael, so why are they sending engineers, drillers into space? Because it's harder to teach people to be drillers than astronauts. And he goes, shut up and just say what's in the script, Ben. Just do what's in the script. Yeah, it's like don't get me wrong, his movies are in many ways nonsensical, but by God, are they entertaining or something.
When you look at the first Transformers movie, and I know a little seen member of the Grumpy Bros, Mr. Swamp Donkey 5, has a very personal term for Transformers, calling it robots doing fucking karate. But the first
Accurate.
the first Transformers movie, in fairness to it, was actually not terrible.
Yep, it had Megan Fox fixing an engine of a car in tight shorts, so.
True.
Well, I mean, fair enough. I was talking about the robots and whatnot, but okay. Right. Anyway,
Sorry, Ronan.
moving on swiftly because we're very much getting off topic here. Dying Light Studio, Techland, lots of fucking issues there. I think they're fucked. Are they fucked? Are they on the way out? Are they going to close? Will Microsoft buy them?
To be honest,
Who knows?
I'm disappointed because I saw the trailer for Dying Light 2 and went, that looks amazing. And then they got one of my favorite writers from Obsidian, who used to work for Obsidian there, the guy who one of the main writers for Fallout New Vegas. Oh, I can never remember his name now.
Chris Avallone.
That's it, Avalon. He's wrote a whole lot of my favorite D&D books and stuff like that.
He apparently wrote a whole lot of problematic tweets as well.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. He got fired for a reason, but he left, and then it turns out that the owner of the company, his wife, is head of HR. So you imagine going, I'm really, my God, the manager, he's such a dick. Who do I go to? I go to HR. It's like, so your husband, it's a bit of a prick.
An asshole.
Well, that could actually work very well depending on how bad their marriage.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If the marriage is that bad, I don't think he would have put her in charge of that, So.
I did think it was kind of unusual that it's the second Polish studio in as many months between CD Projekt Red now and these, with having internal HR issues, I suppose, for want of a better word. People ruling with an iron fist, yet no one making decisions.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, well, I guess it's because it's still a relatively new industry in Poland,
What was the guy that came in and he was like a video games closer? He came in and he finished off BioShock Infinite. He just came in for the last 5 months of the project and then leave. It's not Ken Levine, is it?
I don't know.
It's not Rod Ferguson
Bing it
either.
there, Mick.
Yeah, I'll web crawler the shit out of that now. 1 sec.
Speaking of CD Projekt Red, did anybody see that the next update for Cyberpunk won't be out until next year or something?
It's gonna be
Everyone will have stopped fucking playing it by then.
But this comes down to the fact that all the game files are still locked.
Mm-hmm.
Behind
oh God.
Yeah, they're locked behind the ransomware.
When I first heard about this, I thought that the ransom was that they just released the data. I didn't know that they'd actually. Do CD Projekt Red, did they not have backups?
They might do, but it sounds like they
Who
were
knows?
Encrypted.
Yeah, this is the thing. It sounds like they've got in and encrypted everything. Copied everything and encrypted everything. So I suppose if CD Projekt Red wanted, they could go and just buy all their files back from the dark web somewhere, no doubt. But
just to circle back around, I was right with my first guess. It was Rod Ferguson, formerly of Microsoft Studios, who oversaw Gears and then came back for Gears 4 and 5, and has gone again to. Where is he gone now? Actually, he's gone somewhere interesting. He's gone to Diablo. Actually, sorry.
Cool.
But yeah, because they were literally locked out of the computers for almost 2 weeks, and they're locked out of the code. Like it was a crypto malware attack. So basically, however they got access to the system, they literally just start encrypting files. And unless you have a very good antivirus scanning regularly, like basically looking for events that basically a computer event that says, hey, this .text file is now changed to .crypt. It's like, that's not a good sign. Let's tell everybody in the company so the security team gets on it. If you don't have software doing that monitoring, that can go on for hours and days before somebody will notice it.
I think that might get cut.
Because, like, would you trust code that had been in somebody else's hands and that you would bought back afterwards? No, it could have any kind of malicious changes in it.
Well, basically what happens is it gets encrypted, and then they go, well, we've got a key that's probably like 15 phrases long, so it's by and large unhackable unless you have years and 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 years to break it by brute force. So they go, we'll give you the key so you can literally change the file, because they haven't changed the file other than the file type. It's literally changed it from this is my game.text to this is my game.encrypt or crypto or whatever they're using it. So as it got encrypted, they've got no way of reversing that unless they have the phrase. So it's harsh. Like, I mean, I work for a tech company or a security company, and when the software just specifically looks out for this stuff, but the amount of money you have to pay for that sort of stuff, that sort of protection, is crazy.
Yeah. Yep. Anyways,
it seems to be a problem with these type of studios though. Is like they'll have a hit, like CD Projekt Red now had The Witcher 2, and then 3 set the world alight. They had Dead Island, and then Dying Light was bananas. Like, Dying Light is still getting DLC 6 years later, and it's getting events and everything else like that. So it baffles me how that thing is still running, and they can't finish their other game. It's like their expectations exceed their skill or something like that, or they can't nail down the vision to close out the next project or something. I don't know.
I think it's a lot like going back to what we were talking about earlier, Destiny. So there's like 2 teams in Bungie. There's the live team and there's the development team. And the live, the game gets developed by the main team, and then once the main team's finished, they move on to the next project, and then it gets handed over to the live team who do the maintenance and season passes and stuff like that. So the big main team then goes on to the expansion or the next game. So Techland, they made Dying Light. So if they've got 2 teams in there, that's kind of like Bungie. The main team makes the game, moves on to the next project.
Jesus Christ.
While the live team just makes all the updates and the little expansions and whatnot. So the main team might just be going, we don't know how to make this game anymore. Because it looks so good at Gamescom. Or not Gamescom, was it? Was it Gamescom?
Must be 2 years ago at this stage.
And I too, I loved the look of it and stuff like that. It looked really cool. But yeah, looks like she's fecked.
The WhatsApp is blowing up about Outriders here. Did anyone look at Outriders yet?
I looked at the trailer. Didn't do any more than that.
Yeah.
Maybe
Who's making that's a Square Enix game, is it?
Doesn't sound like social distancing.
Shout out to Manad for putting that in the chat there.
Mido.
What's Manad's Twitch name?
Mido87. No, Nova83.
Nova, yeah, there you go. I'm following Nova83 on Twitch, folks.
Outriders is indeed being made by Square Enix. Good call by whoever is really on top of their tech news this month. Well done you.
Funnily enough, I've had a lot of time.
Moving on, I suppose, to the what we are currently playing or have abandoned playing. Now, we can confirm that Mick has finished Control, so there will be no questions.
No mention of it.
Except for that one there.
And that mention it again and again. But
yeah, never again.
Never again.
We don't need to talk about it ever again. So that 4 out of 5 are still playing Warzone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And once again, this month that's all I've played.
I've never played it.
Right. Not entirely accurate, but yeah.
Oh.
My PC does not run it.
Okay, but you have an Xbox, right? Or a PS4? Or
Yeah, I need to clear out. I don't know how much.
Everything. I need
You
to clear out
a 2 terabyte hard drive, like
Reserve an external 500 gigabyte hard drive just for that game.
Get onto the ESP for a 16 kVA connection to the grid as well, like.
So yeah, season or the new Battle Pass, season 2 of the new thing launched on what, Tuesday?
Yep.
With now with added zombies.
Yeah, to one small corner of the map. I always like going into the next season and guessing what they're going to do, and then they just don't do any of it. So
yeah,
it was like
because
the
your brain,
ship.
it'd be so cool if they do this.
Yeah, and then nah, it's just
Yeah.
a fucking ship.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
I
But,
remember when we were talking about submarines under the map and
Fuck's
see
sake.
that flying over the dam,
Like,
and it's
was
like,
that
see
just-
that shadow there, that's
Yeah.
a submarine. That's gonna blow up the dam and flood the place, and we're gonna have to get boats and jet skis.
But like, what was it? Like, there is something passing there, or is it just a graphical glitch?
It's
And
the
no-
fucking
no-
Loch Ness monster, probably. I don't know.
Fuckers. Like,
And it was the fact
It was probably the subway. It was probably the train and the subway,
It probably was the train.
yeah, and that's closed now. Like
which
that
is
last
now gone. Yeah.
I think I actually I took that train twice ever, like because I just forget about it that it's even a
Yeah.
thing.
Uh,
I took it once and just it brought me to disgust. I was like, all right.
Same.
No funds, I had
The fucking Rajesh doesn't sound so bad now, does it?
I got the shaved head and I got a number tattoo on my arm.
That's all right.
Make a note of this so I can cut it.
Why would you cut that? That was just gold.
Comedy gold. Almost a dank engine.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, but anyway, I started off this season, speculating. I know like there's screens in the bunkers and they're at 5%. And like people are all doing all this maths, like there's 20 points of interest on the map, like every day. How many days until it's a year anniversary? Like, oh, it's 13 days, so like every day it'll go up to 7%. And like every day there'll be zombies in a different location. There isn't no fuck. there's a ship below with 40 zombies on it. And like maybe something will happen on the anniversary, but I'm betting probably nothing.
Well, actually, something will happen on the anniversary.
Yes.
I'm listening.
Well,
I was expecting Mick to jump in there with his masterful idea.
Oh, the
Hours and
retrospective.
chocolates, is it?
A
A
year,
romantic getaway with the two of you.
I was yeah. I had a suggestion that maybe we do a year look back at our year spent hot dropping in
in
Warzone.
Verdansk.
Yes.
You know, I think actually I would like to run, if we're doing that, I would like to have some statistics on games played versus games won.
Which kind of sucks because like a lot of the games that we've won, or I know I've won a few solo, but it's like it's the ones that don't count or the ones that don't actually add up your tally. It's like it only seems to be the big map wins that actually seem to properly count.
Yep. Well, they've changed it now. You've got Battle Royale wins and you've got Warzone wins. So you can check that out.
Right. Anyway, so to bring people up to speed, we're going to do a retrospective on a year spent in Verdansk, which will either be terrifying in the knowledge that we've wasted a lot of the previous year, or, you know, because I personally looking at it, I don't think I'm any better than I was this time last year at the game.
Sure, you've got worse.
Yeah, I have. It's worse, or I'm improving.
I don't know. It's weird, like because when we were playing it last year, I think we're all forgetting how bad it was with all those micro stutters and stuff like that.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Do you remember that micro stutter like 3 months that it just wouldn't go away? You'd have to reboot every game.
Yeah. God,
There
you
was
were
a-
riddled with that.
There was a lot. Yeah, I had that for a bit as well.
Got
Jeez,
the
we were
antibiotics, so
editing,
it cleared it up.
we were editing INI files, and all at one stage started to get rid of that.
Exactly.
Do you remember
Uh,
the dual snake shot pistols? Fucking
If
hell.
that game wasn't as fun as it was, if I didn't enjoy it as much as it was, I would hate it. I would absolutely any other game that would make me do half the shit I did just to get it playable, I wouldn't play.
Yeah, it says something about the playability of the game. The fact that we have played it for a year and it has been riddled with bugs, cheaters, and that storylines, like, you know. And
It is
yet
some
we
crack
still We still go back and have great crack with it though.
I mean, like the current storyline of and spoiler alert on this one. A ship full of zombies appearing out of a storm from the 80s into 2021 and beaching beside a castle, an abandoned castle, I might add, is bonkers. Makes no sense.
In Russia, Eastern Europe, somewhere. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it makes perfect sense in the world where a punch is more powerful than a bullet. I'm sorry. This is a world where somebody can walk up to me and punch me twice, but if I put
that is so annoying. Like,
I'm super salty about that, to be honest.
It's like, seriously, it's
I hate that.
Why don't we just chop people's fists off and find a gun that fires them? It'll be the biggest, most powerful weapon in the game.
Like, surely they could just like add a knife to that punching animation and then.
They can do. They don't always. But like, you can actually walk around with a knife and that kills you on one stab. The actual knives are one-shot kills if you're holding it. If it's your secondary weapon, that's a one-shot kill.
I'm still surprised that the crossbow is a one-shot kill.
Oh, it's not. Oh,
it's a one-shot headshot kill, isn't it?
If you have two armor plates, if you have two armor plates, it's a one-shot kill. If you got three, it won't. But there's one of the crossbows has termite, so if you hit somebody with that, it is a kill because they can't get rid of it. And if there's one of them is a timed explosive, so it'll hit them, and if you hit a headshot, it'll down them, and then if you hit then it'll explode on them and finish them off as well. So it's
that's fair enough. If you shoot me in the big toe, I don't expect to go down from an arrow to the knee, like.
Unless you got gouged.
But if the arrow to the knee then
in which case it's fully expected.
So rumors abound, of course, naturally, because the internet is rife with rumors of an 80s themed map and Verdansk finally getting what Verdansk needs, which is a disco ball, a nuclear disco ball, and a countdown timer. Those are the rumors. That's been a hot rumor for God since the game came out.
And I'm not sure whether I want Verdansk to be nuked either. I'd just be quite happy with another map.
Yeah.
You know, because like if they had a game mode where parts of the map became irradiated due to a bomb, stuff like that. But I mean, at the same time, I would like a new map because like the Rebirth map is added to it. Like,
if they add a new map without getting rid of the old one, what size is the file going to be?
We've had some good fun on that Rebirth map, I have to say though.
Yeah, it's a nice. There's 100 people on Rebirth now at the moment.
We were playing it the other night, weren't we?
It
was absolute madness. Yeah.
It's fun, but it is just so hectic. Absolutely hectic. It's like 90% of it you spent just running and gunning.
There's a lot to be said.
Well, 90% I was spent dead. But...
There's a lot to be said.
Too. Running, gunning, or dead. So...
In a lot of these battle royales and stuff like that, there's a lot to be said for the first map. Like PUBG, Erangel is by far the best map in that. Like, despite all the ones they've added, like Apex Legends, Kings Canyon is still the
best map.
But like, even though they broke it up with the sinking of Bone Town and all that kind of stuff, like, it's not as good. Like, it was better before.
It's always kind of hard because like the first map is the first one you engage with the game, so if the mechanics are really good, your brain goes, I love this place.
Yeah.
I kind of like what Apex did with it. That's kind of my how I'd like it to happen is instead of getting a brand new map, things change a bit on the map, so it kind of freshens it up. Like, because you know, at the very beginning of Apex Legends, there was those big giant monsters in the background but then they actually got onto the map, and you know, they're basically almost like you have to run between their legs and they're insta kill if they step on you and stuff like that. It's just.
But then Apex took away the map. Like you got.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah, World's Edge was the map after 6 months. World's Edge was the map, and it was the map for 4 months. Like, you couldn't play King's Canyon. Then didn't come back till Halloween.
Should say I must have stopped at that point. Then I stopped just before that point because I think last time I played it was when they brought in those big giant dinosaurs onto the map, and I was loving it. But then everybody I knew stopped playing, and it's just no fun solo.
That's good. It's a very fucking sweaty game, though. I tried to play it there a while ago, and it's very, very hard.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot harder than Warzone. Jesus.
I better not play it. So
I don't say harder. It's just
It's completely different. It plays more like Halo in that every headshot counts. You want to be hitting 5 headshots in a row to down someone, to break shields and stuff like that. It's a lot fucking harder.
I was a massive fan, as I've said previously, of Halo 3. I think they hit the pinnacle with Halo 3 multiplayer, and I will fight any man that says otherwise.
I think
because I think Reach. Well, I think Reach was the best one when they brought all those abilities in with the shields and stuff. Oh man.
I think Dennis had the right of it when he said that whatever multiplayer map you do first is the one that you're really attached to. Because I still have
Snowblind.
Well, I was Snowblind, but also Valhalla, obviously.
Valhalla, yes.
It was
Warthog, baby.
Was the one I used to like.
Lockout
was the one with, it was like stacked on top of each other, wasn't it? With the square spirals on the way up or something like that.
Oh, the bases.
Was that Lockout? No, that was called Blood Gulch.
Blood Gulch is a good one as well. I think for me, my favorite was definitely the Reach's multiplayer. It's just with all the abilities added so much to it. But for me, my favorite moment in Halo was definitely Halo 3 in the original ranking. So
Halo 3 beta.
Anyone have a favorite multiplayer map of all time? Spring straight ahead, no? I'll go first. Mine would be Facing Worlds in Unreal Tournament.
Oh, that was the one with like they had the bridge above and the bridge underneath and 2 towers on either side, wasn't
Correct,
it?
yeah, 2 big towers.
Yeah,
that
was awesome. And you had to get the sniper if you had one person had the sniper rifle in that.
Yeah.
Or you were playing if you played the insta-gib mode where everybody had the same gun but one shot was a kill.
After that, Deck 16, I think in that same game was an amazing one as well.
Man, Unreal Tournament was so good.
I can't think of the name of it, but Dennis will know what I mean. The one with the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, with the inside-outside part, where you were inside and you had to take the ladder down to the bottom deck.
Was this the one on the cliff?
No, not on the cliff. It's on like a space
desert.
I can't think of the name of the fucking thing.
I would actually, I can never remember the name of the map for it, but in Dota, the map you have in Dota, it's the same map that's been there for Dota 1 and Dota 2, and it's just laid out just right. It's kept that game. Whether you have to like the game first to enjoy the map, but it's just one of those maps you just go, it just works.
I was going to make that joke earlier when we were on about maps. There was someone like they said Dota, like it was like American football, like you don't see him calling after every year to change up the field, to liven things up a bit, put a few craters in and knock the goals and
I'd be up
zombies.
For that. You know what? I'd be up for that if they start putting pit traps onto a soccer field. I'll start watching that sport again.
I think they want to do
as long as it was symmetrical.
The last Boy Scout and give one fella a gun and leave him off.
Yeah. That's it, boy. Or give him a taser. It'll be hard to start with a gun. We'll work our way up to a gun. We'll start with a taser.
Favorite multiplayer glacier, I think it might be Polis from Among Us. Murdering people has never been.
Just trying to think of multiplayer games now in general.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe not my favorite, but probably the one I've had most fun on would be like Nuketown or something from. What was that? Black Ops 2 or Black Ops?
Oh, I was in Nuketown was originally Black Ops 1.
Yeah.
It's in every Black Ops since then.
Some of the stages in Injustice 2 Among Us are cool, like the interactive backgrounds, and you beat 3 people through the wall and floors and stuff. And some of the Mortal Kombat stages were awesome as well.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2 there with the
pit. Finished them and it's like poof into the pit. It's like, yeah, blood. 12-year-old me going, this is so graphic.
That's a deep.
Johnny Cage's cock punch.
Moving on from Activision zombie-based games to Activision zombie-based games. Cold War. Mick, you have new thoughts on Cold War?
Yeah, I've come around a big time on it, but only because
you've warmed up to it.
I have. Yeah, I've come around it since I switched to mouse and keyboard. I don't know if it was something that was busted with PC matchmaking or what, because I was getting melted consistently on it. It was actually very frustrating. It's kind of a case you turn a corner and you were melted, but that's not the case now. And I stepped into zombies which is again something I'd never done in any of the Call of Duty games. It's actually surprisingly enjoyable. It's more spelt out a bit more this time than in past games. Past games, they seem to be very kind of puzzle and Easter egg heavy, whereas this time they kind of signpost what to do and where to go after that. So yeah, it's good crack.
As well, we were playing it the other night, and I had no idea what was going on. But as Swamp Donkey said, it feels a lot like a Left 4 Dead game. And I do think we would all enjoy it if we got a bit of a group together. But
I'd be up for that.
I would also be.
Do you get
position?
Sorry, do you just a question then? Is like, do you actually get the other Modern Warfare game now if you buy Cold War?
No.
All right. So you still have to buy the original one if you want to buy the story for that one and so.
So just what we were playing the other night, Al, was kind of it's an open world, randomized. How to best describe it? The straight up zombies mode is a round based thing. So it's like essentially you have a set play area. It's like one map, and there's walls that are barricaded off, and you get points for killing zombies, and you pay points to open the doors or open the walls, and then you also pay points to change your weapons, upgrade your weapons and stuff like that. And it keeps going. You can extract in whenever you've had enough of it, and it's like you have to clear whatever 100 zombies from a confined area, and the helicopter lands, takes you out. The open world one is a bit more free form in terms of like it's more like a war zone map. It's a big open space with stuff spread around, and there's kind of like special events will go off and stuff like that. But the gameplay loop is still similar, but it is slightly different as well. But yeah, it would definitely be way better fun as a Team of War.
Well, maybe we'll look to that and record some footage and upload it to the Grumpy Bros channel, where you should hit like and subscribe. Bing us.
Bing us.
Bing us.
That's never going to catch on, man.
No.
Electronic mail. Please send us mail that is electronic.
I have dipped my toe back into GTA 5 on the PC recently. No, the actual story mode. I just said, fuck it, I'll go back and play a bit of GTA 5 on the story mode. I have an ambition to. I'm doing it in a particular way now, where I'm not finishing out the Hitman missions to make money until I have a heap more money, so that I can make more money and buy everything. Basically, once I have like
more money to make more money.
Yeah, speculate to accumulate. That's how That's how we roll. But yeah, no, I tell you,
I thought it was murder people to accumulate.
No, I'm telling you now, but it's all changed. It's all about making money and becoming a real estate mogul now. That's where the big bucks are.
See, for me, I loved GTA 5. Absolutely loved it, and I loved the multiplayer to a degree up until their servers were just so broken. It's like you lost connection in the middle of a raid or a heist, and that was it. It was gone. You couldn't rejoin, and they kind of made it a little bit better, but they're still quite unstable. And it's like you go into the regular multiplayer on GTA, and you got people flying around on bikes that have homing rockets. It's like you're there with a pistol going, no.
I think that's intentionally part of the game.
It's just. But at the same time, amazing game. Looking forward to their 6th one.
Why have they announced the 6th one?
Not yet,
but they'll make it. They'll have to.
Of course they will. And it'll be bigger and better, and hopefully back in Vice City.
Oh, back in the 80s, boy. I want to go back to Vice City.
Actually, here's the thing, lads. Did they ever actually fix and get right the Red Dead Online?
No.
First one or the second one?
First one.
For the second.
Oh, what?
I didn't
Red Dead 2.
What was wrong with it?
The multiplayer. Well,
none of us played it, is what was wrong with it.
All right, okay.
So there was they had a couple of missions, and then we did them and did anything.
I was listening to a podcast that touched on it. Like there was one of those people playing it, and they kind of said that it's saddled with a lot of spending money. Not quite microtransactions, but it's like they've got different life paths. You can be a trapper, or you can be a traveling salesperson, all that kind of stuff. But apparently, you have to invest a lot of your own time and money into it to kind of get set up in those professions.
It's a massive time sink. People can buy with real money the best weapons in the game. So you could literally go in and somebody could have paid whatever it is, €5 or something, to get the best sniper rifle. So you can get sniped from a mile away, and you start with this pistol that has trouble firing. So and you get the slowest horse starting off, and then they can buy the fastest horse. And to get to there, you can get that stuff in game, but it takes forever. Like you skin a donkey or whatever, you skin a fucking bear, and it's like 10 cents, and it costs like thousands of dollars in game money to buy the best weapons. It's just, they brought the same approach they brought to GTA 5 to it, the multiplayer. And the problem is GTA 5 is, it's modern day, so you can have a ton of cars, ton of games, a ton of weapons. Whereas back in the day, it was like there's a few weapons, and then there was different color horses, and that's basically it. So it could have been great.
That's a no on Red Dead Online then.
Because like some of my favorite gaming moments is getting a posse with IB Foxer, and I believe you joined us as well, Leo, in the first game.
Oh yeah, the first one was fantastic, where we just go to El Presidio and start shooting people and take on
Banditos.
There you go. That'll be another vote for favorite map in a multiplayer game.
Yeah, I do have to concede that. Or just get the cannons and just start plastering anybody who comes near you.
Yep. Gatling guns. Such a great game.
Yeah. So recently, I have been playing a lot of Age of Empires. So that's been
oldie but goldie, baby.
It's
the remaster or the actual original?
Oh, the remaster. So what's annoying is anytime you lose internet, just automatically the entire game. So you have to be. So it's happened to me a couple of times. So I'm like saving every 5 minutes now. But that's comes with its own problems, because anytime something goes wrong, now there's just a temptation. Well, I'll just go back 5 minutes. But
that's because it's on the Game Pass, is it?
No, this is on Steam.
It's the same thing as like if I'm playing a game on the Game Pass and I lose internet connectivity.
Oh, right, I see.
Temporarily, it kicks you out of the game, because it's like, God forbid you're playing for any longer, then they can verify that you have an account.
Exactly.
It's the curse of Game Pass. Like, it's one of the pluses, but my God. But sorry, continue. A little bit of hijack. Off you go.
So yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff in it nowadays that like I remember back when I did it. You had the Ascent of Egypt, you had the Glory of Greece, you had the Hittites, Babylonians, and
Romans,
the Yamato, and you had like one thing of Rome and one thing as Carthage. They have tons of Roman campaigns now. This, Rome that, Rome the other. And I have yet to touch on any of them. But, oh God, I'm getting absolutely destroyed in it. I've forgotten how hard this game is, because they'll just third rush you fairly early on.
Yep, you're going, it's all going well. As like catapults start charging you, you're going, how are these things firing? There's nobody at them. Like, catapults just firing over and over again.
Well, magic. All you have to do is send your priest to convince the catapult that it's of the wrong religion.
That's all you hear is like the computer just makes like 500 priests, and all you hear is like just turns to their side, is like, wait, he's a very convincing priest. What can I say?
Yeah,
priests. Convincing priest.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to make a segue into Joss Whedon there.
Oh yeah, he did have Nathan Fillion play a priest of some description in.
That's kind of good.
It's saying something that was one of the creepiest priests I've ever seen on television.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan Fillion is such a fantastic actor. Like, he can pretty much turn his hand to anything.
He was really good in that. That was one of the best story arcs in that whole thing.
Oh, he was so good, wasn't he?
And over the demons, like they were saying, like, what is it? They've no. What was it? They've no they couldn't sweat or something like that. He said they pant like dogs or something like that. It was class.
He was so good in that, man. Oh Jesus!
Like that's the first thing I've ever seen him in.
With
no,
I think so as well. Yeah, I think that was the first time I'd ever seen him.
Two guys, a girl, in a pizza place, a pizza shop.
With the cats out of the bag on it now. Look, we all probably grew up with watching Joss Whedon stuff. You know, Buffy, Angel, Firefly. I know, Des, you were a big fan of Dollhouse. You know, we all thought he did a pretty marvelous job, I suppose, with the Avengers and then other things that he did. Basically, simply put, you can't be doing that. It's as simple as that. What he's done, you can't be doing it. End the story. It's going to forever taint everything that he did that was good because of the things that he did.
What has he been accused of doing? Being a prick.
Being a prick.
He's more a bully than an abuser, though, is he? Really?
Yeah.
There was basically
workplace bullying.
Buffy. I can never remember the name of the actress, but like the one who
Charisma Carpenter.
Charisma Carpenter, yeah.
There was a rule on set that he was.
Michelle Trachtenberg.
Yeah, he was no longer allowed in a dressing room alone with her.
He wasn't allowed anywhere alone with her. Yeah.
She was only like 12 or 13 during that, wasn't she?
She was very young.
Yeah, so
something like that. Yeah.
I think it's kind of like when you combine that story with the story that his wife was telling after their breakup, where she was like he was having affairs with every actress that he worked with, like, and basically anything that was discussed, she was saying he was having affairs left and right.
He was a fake feminist, like that was it. Like, he pretended to be all for women power just to empower himself over women, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
what's it do?
Allegedly. Just cover ourselves legally there.
Yeah.
Well, there are certainly plenty of allegations, and there's plenty of support for those allegations. So we just have to wait and see how it plays out. But anyway,
and will it sour your view of his work? Personally,
not
I'll still watch it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it does kind of make it kind of weird when you think of how many rape storylines he liked to put in. But yeah.
Really, rape storylines or something else?
Well, the one with Spike and Buffy, and apparently, if they were going to do a Firefly season 2, one of the big storylines that he wanted to do was that he wanted to have Inara get gang raped by Reavers, and she would use some sort of potion that would make her have a poisoned pussy so that all the Reavers would die. And I haven't. Yeah.
What?
You know, now that you say it out loud, I actually read that before somewhere and just blocked it out, which is mental.
So yeah, he likes to put some weird storylines into things.
What?
And it was going to be Mal's big hero moment that he'd stop treating her like shit.
And he would save her poison pussy. What? I mean, I'm sorry, what?
I'm just
considering you.
You know what?
Sounds like something you'd find in the City
Twister.
Facts.
I'm not making this up either.
We ain't writing this shit.
That can't be true. I'm sorry.
And you know what the best thing is? That the staff writer, the writer's room guy that like leaked this and talked about this. He said that Joss specifically said to him, "These are the types of stories that we'll be telling in season 2."
And we all wonder why Fox cancelled it, huh?
Like when you look back at it, how many people that previously worked with Joss Whedon actually want to work with Joss Whedon never again, even before any of this?
You know what? That's actually I thought on that after I heard the allegations the first time. So obviously, Sarah Michelle Gellar never went back to work with Whedon after Angel. Nathan Fillion worked with him twice. Charisma Carpenter twice. David Boreanaz twice. James Marsters twice. Alexis Denisov twice. Alison Hannigan twice. Eliza Dushku 3 times, admittedly.
Buffy. Well, actually, you have to
Buffy,
remember.
Angel, and Dollhouse. Although Buffy and Angel, technically, it was just crossovers.
I'd say, yeah.
But remember also that it's actually more than that because with Nathan Fillion, because they had the Dr. Hammer sing along.
Oh yeah,
He was in that. So that's technically 3 times.
yeah.
See, the weird thing about him, right, is like I consider him and the Buffy crew and the Spike crew or the Angel crew. They were almost like, do you know the way you've got your man that does all the comedy films? You've got Seth Rogen and his wife.
Oh yeah.
They're almost like a troupe. It's like you had the Whedon troupe as well that they always seem to be together, pally, and it's all falling asunder now. Whatever kind of starring has been done.
Like with an Adam Sandler movie, you know, like where
you've got Rob Schneider and all those his old buddies.
Exactly.
Rob Schneider is a brush. And this summer he will find out now that everything can be swept under the carpet.
You know, there was definitely kind of a nerd expectation placed on them because like Eliza Dushku, they were all nerd darlings, like because they were all in major nerd properties. So it's just kind of weird that it's all have to come to this now.
It's taken some time. I think for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but your man from Justice League. What's his name? Cyborg.
Oh, Ray Fisher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he really was the precursor to all of it, wasn't he? He was the one who came out and was like, you're a bit of a dick. Why were you a dick? Stop being a dick. And Charisma Carpenter has come out since that and then Michelle Trachtenberg has said what she said. And now I don't know of anyone else that's actually come out and said Joss Whedon was a dick to me or he did X, Y, and Z, but plenty of people have thrown their support behind it. And other people who weren't necessarily cast, but just for argument's sake, Marty Noxon, who was a scriptwriter for Buffy and possibly parts of Angel, has come out and said more or less, well, yeah, that kind of bullshit did go down. So
you see, again, no, we'll never know because we were never there, right?
Yeah.
But like the likes of these guys, they do an awful lot with limited means as such. Like from what I gather, both of those shows were bought in relatively modest budgets, and they what they achieved far exceeded probably what was the television norm at the time. Like, so obviously, like he was, I won't say a visionary, but he was a man with a plan and a big dream, and no doubt he pushed himself hard and probably pushed everyone else hard. And as they look back through the lens of it now, do they say fuck that guy? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, is a certain cadre of stars whose lights, while may not be shining bright, have maybe sort of dimmed somewhat. Like what did Charisma Carpenter end up in? She was Jason Statham's boyfriend in The Expendables 1.
Boyfriend, even impressive.
Or whatever, you know?
No, that's you raise a very valid point there. Like, she's done fuck all since Amber Benson, who was Tara, hasn't exactly lit Hollywood on fire.
Michelle Trachtenberg was in Eurotrip.
Yeah, Alison Hannigan went on to be in
one of the most popular comedy.
One of the most popular shows. But Sarah Michelle Gellar didn't really do a whole.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah,
but the thing is like, because I went to Comic-Con in Dublin and James Masters is there and he's doing a like questions and answers, and one of the stories he was telling was that is kind of what you say there, Mick, is like there's limited means. Is basically they're going is like the Buffy show had such a name that it was had a name for that it was such a grueling place to actually work that you'd have people who'd be offered it and they would turn it down because they would have a game on set where basically by the end of the day they'd ask each other, do you remember what we did at the beginning of the day? Because they were that exhausted after like nearly 16 hours. But James Masters remembers, we was telling the story about one of my favorite episodes is like the silence.
The Hush.
The Hush, that's it.
Yeah,
Those
Hush.
freaky
The
guys.
the
floating
gentleman.
around. The gentleman. He's there basically, in his head, he had the image of what he wanted to do. And if he had a proper, amazing budget that, special effects machines would have been easy to do. But it was like to get that floating feeling, which was almost impossible to do on set. But he went to home. James Masters went home, he went to bed, came back in for the shoot, and Joss Whedon was still there that day, hadn't left, and he was super excited because he finally figured out how he could do it with the budget he had to get that floating thing. So I think he's definitely a very driven man. Now, doesn't excuse any behavior and stuff behind it, but Masters is there, it's basically saying is like, this was his art, this is what he threw himself in for. So, like you're saying, I don't know if it's something that they, in hindsight, regret going through, because seemingly, like a lot of people have, like what's his name, guy who played Xander,
Nicholas Brendan,
he turned to heavy drinking during Buffy.
Yeah, well, I think it's very pointed to maybe make the argument that Anthony Stewart Head, who would even at that stage have been something of an industry veteran.
Yeah.
Never. No, I won't say never, but he cannot recall at a time bearing witness to anything untoward. Now, he's not saying that it never happened, but he can say he never saw it. James Masters also said he never saw it. He can't say it didn't happen. Perhaps the argument potentially could be made. And again, I'm not going to excuse Joss Whedon's behavior, because irrespective of how driven
alleged
you
behavior
are for your art, alleged behavior, yeah, irrespective of how driven you are for your art, you still have to play the game as evenly as possible. You can't go Christian Bale Terminator on everybody. That's just not acceptable. But perhaps the argument could be made, like Mick says, that maybe they're looking back on it now and thinking, I went through some bullshit for little or no long-term gain, and fuck that noise.
Well, I'd say there's a fair long-term game. Like, I'm sure Buffy and stuff like that, anybody who's been in the show has definitely got a lot of residuals coming to them. That show's on somewhere at all point.
Only if it's in your contract.
James Marsters has done.
That's only if it's in your contract.
James Marsters done well off the back of it. Like, he's still doing things. He was in Runaways most recently that I'm aware of. Has anybody seen Runaways? Quite good.
Not yet. No.
Yeah, I did. I saw
I think he's meant to be or something, but like he's a great actor in general.
Like David Boreanaz, to be honest, is probably now the most successful actor to come.
Yeah, he's been in some Navy SEALs show now, isn't he?
Yeah, SEAL Team. Yeah,
he's in SEAL Team. He done Bones. Like how many seasons did Bones run for?
Hey, what?
How many seasons did Bones run for?
10, 11?
I was going to say 10. Yeah, it must
12.
be 10.
I think it's 12.
12. Jesus.
Was it 12?
I actually think so. If you go onto Disney Plus or something, and it's something ridiculous. It's on Disney Plus now.
I like with all due respect.
Mrs. Ferrigan used to love watching that, but we kind of dropped out of it, I suppose. We'd maybe go back to and watch the last few seasons, but
with all, and I was going to say there, with all due respect to The Big Bang Theory, I mean that show pretty much revolved around 2 centralized characters and one, and the rest of the ensemble cast in much the same way as Buffy did. Whereas more or less anything serial that David Boreanaz has been in, he has been the lead or one of the leads.
And bless him, like you watch him in the very first episode of Buffy and go, that kid can't act.
No.
By the end of Angel, he was decent, and after that, he's gotten quite good. Like, I mean, he's totally the guy that he really was somebody that a recruiting agent went, I'm going to hire this guy because he just saw him one day walking dogs and going, he's a pretty boy, I want him in a TV show. And that's literally how he was found.
You're an actor.
You're an actor now. I'm going.
Yeah, call me. Does this not come on? I'm in a very serious relationship with a landscape architect.
You can plan my Eiffel Tower any day.
I'll never forget the school pageant that we did where you had to pretend to be David Boreanaz for a skit.
Yeah.
That was Fox's claim to fame in secondary school. He was.
No, David Boreanaz looks like me. He modeled his entire look on me. Absolutely, 100%. I'll never hear any argument against that.
I mean, you can't even blame him, really. Yeah.
No, God, no. But to get back on track, look, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you have said there, we're obviously never going to know the full story, the ins and outs of everything that happened. We can only speculate on the information that we have. I just do. That's the one thing that always stuck in my mind. It is very pointed that, like I say, an industry veteran, like Anthony Stewart Head, or Anthony Head as he likes to be called now, never noticed anything untoward, or doesn't recall noticing anything untoward. Now, that's not to say, again, the allegations are untrue, but like I say, there's three sides to every story. There's yours, theirs, and the truth.
And the truth. It just kind of smacks of him not wanting to make waves because he's not been on the telly for a while. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Also, he didn't work on Angel, did he?
No. He guest starred a couple of times on Angel. It was about the size of it, really.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what this
Charisma Carpenter's story is from Angel.
Meh.
When she was pregnant, I believe, was the actual.
Yeah, that's right.
What this has made me want to do is go back and binge watch Buffy and Angel, though.
I mean, I'd love to. Yeah, well, there's a few seasons where you can kind of skip. But
Yeah.
I actually started into the first season of Angel again.
I think Angel is the one to watch, really, rather than Buffy, isn't it?
I think you could skip probably most of the first season of Buffy, like a lot of it, certainly the first half.
So
when you get to the latter end of the first season, it's good. Second season was a bit meh.
It's hard
from
to know.
then on, it picked up a bit, I think. But I wouldn't be the world's biggest fan of the
college years.
The sixth season. I wanted the Glory season. I think was.
I thought that was really good, especially the ending of it was like where Giles basically goes, "She's good. She wants you to go free and stuff like that." But I'm not like that, and he just basically murders her.
There are parts of it, I will say, but again, the one thing that I think I will always say above and beyond is, irrespective of his personal, like Firefly is a gift, and will remain to be a gift, and it's still criminal to this day that it was cancelled.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
anyway.
Now, knowing what we know now,
I still no, because it's still criminal. Firefly is still a gift.
That was a storyline.
Well, assuming that would have never made it off the storyboards.
Maybe he voiced that out loud, and some exec said, "Do you know what we'll do now? Is we better show this thing out of air, or out of order, and cancel it early before this fool brings us all down."
Any other business, gentlemen?
I think so.
No, I'm still just thinking about poison pussy, but
Yeah, I'll be honest. Sounds like a few
look it up. I'm not making it up.
Right, I think we're gonna shoot through the random news segment pretty quickly. Joe Biden, our Democratic Lord and Savior, is going to investigate component shortages because he has really fuck all else to be doing right now.
He's given up on the
leader of the free world. He's going to investigate component shortages. So
he's going to give every American $1,400 for a 3070.
Hey, there we go.
Well, no, a 3060, because they just got released.
3060.
Did anybody watch the? Oh yeah, two of them. Did anybody watch the reviews the other day?
No. I've given up looking at things that I'm never going to fucking buy, to be honest.
Pretty much the same as every release so far in the last 12 months.
Nobody could buy one. There are none. It's a paper release. They don't exist.
Well, and NVIDIA didn't do any reference cards. They didn't do any
of their own cards. Components for those.
Yeah.
It's like a theoretical launch.
Oh man, it just sucks. Like,
Every reviewer that I've watched over the last couple of days has had the EVGA 3060. I haven't seen one different card at all. It's always been the EVGA. They all got them. But,
decided to buy a 3070. Like, I have money. Just let me buy it. Let me buy it.
and did anybody see the news that the Nvidia are releasing a crypto mining card?
Yeah, I see that. No video
Really?
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called the 3070.
And and what they're going to do is that on the 3060s that they've just released, they are going to basically the driver is going, if it detects that you're mining Ethereum, it's going to halve the hash rate of the card. So if you're mining anything other than Ethereum, you're fine.
You're fine. You're gold.
Yeah. I don't. This is in an attempt to stop scalpers buying the cards, which just what is going on with your camera, Dennis?
Kind of having a bit of an identity crisis there for a moment.
So basically, it's not going to stop the scalpers really at all. They're just going to keep buying them up and trying to resell them on for, double, triple the price. Yeah.
Oh,
Like the card's meant to be what, $380 US, I think. But
good for that. Like,
I haven't actually looked to see if there's any available over here because
Why Ethereum? As a matter of interest.
I don't know. This was a throwaway line on on a Linus Tech Tips video I seen this morning.
the 3060 is listed as 389.99, and if you go to Overclockers UK, 529.99. So Overcharger UK.
There's a place in Cork there where you can buy one for 700.
Fuck
PC Maestro.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you out there, Al.
No. I'm
Jeez.
like that's the prices are just fucking. Come on, lads, But anyway, so back to Biden.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It's a semiconductor shortage. Is the sum.
And it's basically being blamed on logistics, I suppose, and COVID.
Oh,
because they can't get enough
China.
graphene or whatever from wherever it is they source it. I'm assuming in China, but
Goddamn Africans are too busy dying of COVID. They should be mining graphene.
Exactly.
Get the priorities straight.
Getting their €2 a day.
But yeah, so now we don't have new graphics cards, we don't have new CPUs, we don't have new cars because the smart cars can't get the processors to make them run.
They're all running on Ryzen, are they?
It's a fair turnaround. Like, we can't buy these things before because we were fucking broke. Now we can't buy them because we can't get them.
Now that I have the money, I can't give the money.
Why must you mock me, God? Why?
It's like, yes, I have money, but I can't spend it. It is pointless.
It's all fucking mad, isn't it? The whole component shortage and graphene shortage and everything. Just the fact that you literally can't go to, we'll say, your local GameStop for argument's sake. Well, you can't. Not that you could, but you couldn't.
My local one closed down. So.
You couldn't go to your
COVID.
local GameStop or PC World now with a pre-ordered Series X, unless you're Foxer.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I caved and I bought a Series X. I apologize to everyone.
I'd love to go back to like episode 0 and find the clip where we all said we were not buying one.
And anybody honestly say
Definitely.
Cold War.
The funny thing is, like, you say episode 0 like it was 95 episodes ago.
Well, in fairness, that was 5 months ago, no?
It was in this fiscal quarter.
True.
Is anybody honestly surprised, though?
No, I knew he'd do it.
Yeah, I knew it. Do it.
I knew he'd do it as well.
I totally knew he'd go for the X as well.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'll tell you about the S. I don't need it for anything else. It's like
I think you specifically called that last one.
I know, Foxer. He the shinies. It's always the shinies.
Well, do you know how many times I've turned it on?
Twice.
Yeah.
Still talking about Xbox.
It's a poison pussy, that thing is.
Yeah.
Oh my god, jeez. I'm out.
Can we please make that a returning joke?
Yeah.
There's a part of me now that is actually a little bit happy that Firefly didn't make it.
Between Joe Biden cracking down the semiconductors and Boris cracking down on scalpers, it's funny times we live in. Like,
It really is.
Boris said want to open up the fucking barbers fairly lively, lads, because he's looking desperate.
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh, he looked that way before the pandemic, though.
That's
well.
worse.
Oh, he gets his own barber. Like, he doesn't have to worry about it. Like, he gets his hair must tussled like that before going on camera.
Like, there's reports that before an interview starts, he'll like just mess it up himself. Because if he looks too...
I'll speak from experience here. That is him.
Yeah, he's a twat.
Yeah.
Oh, I absolutely believe
the
that.
poison variety, perhaps.
Yeah, I've met him once for an evening, and yeah, he's a very engaging man. He speaks very well, but that is what you see is exactly him, unless he's been like that for the last 15 years.
It's a long con.
Putting on, yeah, he's been playing the long con and putting it on.
I think it's part of a disarming technique, to be honest with you. If you see him like that, you kind of go, "Oh, wait a second."
Well, here's an off. I'm going to take.
That's exactly what it is, Dennis. He tries to play the
buffoon,
the stupid eating boy, like, you know, public school.
We've one of those page-a-day calendars here, you know, where there's always some nugget of wisdom every day. Like, there was one last week, and it was like, the difference between genius and stupidity is genius has its limitations. It's fucking Boris, like.
That's it. What was the other one I heard about? It's like stupidity and death are quite alike. They're only painful to other people.
That's it, yeah.
If you can't astound them with brilliance, dazzle them with bullshit. Is another one of my favorite ones. Moving on to something a little happier, I think we'll all be quite happy with this. There's a new Mortal Kombat movie.
Yes.
No Johnny Cage.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Isn't there? Isn't there?
Is there no? Is there? Is there? Johnny
Isn't,
Cage?
what's the main guy's name in it? The guy who is not a Mortal Kombat character.
Oh yeah, actually, that's a fair point. He just because he's Asian doesn't mean he can't be Johnny Cage.
There's an undercurrent theory going that he's like he's an upcoming actor. Like at the end of the film, it'll be like, we'll give you a film deal, like, but this name isn't going to work. It's like, we have something snappy like Johnny Cage. Is where they reckon they're going to go with it, which is one way of doing it.
He's not Johnny Cage then. That's not Johnny Cage. No. Johnny Cage is basically Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's just... I'd love if they actually brought Jean-Claude Van Damme in for it. He'd be brilliant, and he ends up winning the tournament with a split kick.
It looks pretty good though. The effects are pretty cool.
Yeah, it does look good.
The Sub-Zero effects there,
right,
where he's making the sword out of the liquid in the air.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you remember though. There was like this a little web series of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of hoping would get made because it's more of a reality grounded thing.
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. This trailer looks awesome with the ice and everything. I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking badass.
I actually, one of my favorite clips from it is the explanation of how Jax loses his arms.
Yeah,
I thought that was really, really cool.
Did you see the Aussie Man reviews of the trailer?
Not yet, but
Yes.
I believe that will be astounding.
I'll just say this much: Aussie man loves Goro.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly why Goro specifically, but Aussie man loves Goro.
Well, Aussie man's a good gamer, like, you know. He's gamed for years, so.
No word of a lie, that soundtrack to the first movie, that Mortal Kombat song, is still in my gym playlist. Like, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Utah Saints had, I think, 2 songs that I'm aware of, and they're both crackers.
Have you ever seen the video of where guys are cosplaying as the Mortal Kombat cast, and they like go into shops around LA and stuff like that, and they just like have a dance off with that song blaring? It's amazing stuff.
No, but
they're all
I
kind
need
of
to look it up now.
mildly overweight, Kulang. Yeah. I shall send the link.
Two.
Ideally, what they need to do is they need to have like costumes, removable limbs, so that they can fatality each other. Has there ever been a fatality where somebody just takes somebody else's arm off and beats them to death with it? It feels like there should have been.
There should have been, aye.
I don't recall.
Yeah, there is definitely. Where didn't Jax do it? Didn't he rip off someone's arms and club him to death with it?
Did he?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that was positive.
I knew it.
Feels like a very Jax thing to do, Ari.
I don't know, was I getting old? There was a point where I kind of stopped watching fatalities because they were actually too extreme.
Was it the bit where they got they did X-rays of kicks in the crotch and the testicles actually exploding?
God, yeah.
I think it was the one where Kung Lao took off his hat and it was spinning on the ground like a circular saw, and he grabbed the 2 legs and pulled him into it by the crotch first. I think that was kind of when I tapped out.
I feel there was a collective wincing of the groin area.
Oh, there was.
When you were talking that nonsense there. Ugh.
Oh, that episode of Conan O'Brien where he had the 2 American football players and they were playing Mortal Kombat against each other. And they had the exact same reactions to these. I think the biggest one, Scorpion cuts the other fella's face off. Sub-Zero.
Oh.
Never remember. But yeah, Marshawn Lynch and Gronk were just playing Mortal Kombat against each other.
Speaking of the Gronk, another Super Bowl. Courtesy
Yeah,
of Tom Brady.
indeed.
Like, the man turned down literal millions from WWE to go and win a Super Bowl.
He'll still get those millions. Just like,
he'll go back to it. It's really it's mad. Like, Tom Brady literally went to Tampa Bay and was like, "You get me Gronk, I'll get you a Super Bowl." And the man delivered, and he'll deliver again next year, I reckon.
Laces out, then. Laces out.
Or he could go out in a high right now. Moving on.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Win or lose.
Third hand for the amount of rings he's got, like.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
Spoiler alert,
Spoiler
lads.
alert.
Spoiler alert.
8
Fair
episodes
warning.
down.
How many episodes is there actually? Is matter?
9.
Are we
There's
finished?
one left.
Thanks for the fuck.
And come here and
I
I
thought
tell
there
you,
was 9 left. I
the
thought there was 2 left. I thought there was
prevailing
10
rumor.
episodes.
there's a rumor that there's an.
What?
You actually got Marvel actually bleeped out your last word.
Oh yeah, there's a rumor that there's a 10th episode.
Aha.
Is there?
There's a rumor, but that's like I use the word rumor, and I emphasize it. Like, I can't emphasize it enough. It's probably going to turn out to be bullshit.
Well, the rumor that I had was that there's 12 minutes extra runtime on episode 9.
Just in case anybody's wondering what we're talking about, it's WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Oh yeah, we should probably.
I did already say WandaVision.
Because I'm not.
I don't
Not
think
gonna
we
lie,
did.
after I actually thought the last episode that I just watched was the last episode, and I was moderately annoyed by the end of it because I had so many questions. Like, I was like,
Do you know what the best thing about this show has been? In that episode, the very end of episode 4 ends with Monica saying, "Wanda, it's all Wanda," and then 4 episodes later, most of the series after that, and the entire audience, including us, is just like, what? It's been just Wanda the whole time? We've been told exactly what the story was, and we didn't believe it.
Where let's speculate.
I'm looking forward. I think it's kind of really leading into the new Doctor Strange. Like, it's just because the power the other Agatha is kind of using, it kind of seems similar to what's the Dormammu?
Well, something's been keeping her alive all this time, and judging by the Ancient One, that's a Dormammu thing. Surely, if there was a better way of doing it, the Ancient One would have done that instead.
So there's this whole thing where in Doctor Strange they made a deal that he'd stay away from Earth, and not, do his fucking bad shit there. But he would stay away, not that he would not send an agent of destruction to do it for him, or have agency on Earth to carry out his will. One of the things that I saw, which is non-spoilery, it's just speculation, that obviously Doctor Strange is multiverse of madness, so there's going to be shenanigans afoot and many hijinks, and that Wanda is kind of like the constant, basically. She's the anchor. Yeah, she's the anchor back to where Doctor Strange should be.
Because
that kind of makes sense.
Because basically, it kind of changed the history of the Scarlet Witch recently. Basically, it was no longer just that there's one Scarlet Witch. It's just like, it's kind of a mantle. It's like it's like someone becomes a Scarlet Witch nearly every generation, sort of thing.
In the comics,
yeah. So it's not like kind of retcon that they're, I don't want to say recently, but in the last few years.
Yeah.
Basically, it's no longer that it's just Wanda that's the Scarlet Witch. It's basically someone every generation, and like her mother was Scarlet Witch before her, but that's not going to be in this generation from what we can see. But
I like what they're doing with it, though. That they're basically saying,
I think it's brilliant. Like, I thought the whole parents scene in Sokovia there with the lad flogging the DVDs, and like that's what they watched in the evening, and then the tank shell or whatever it was hit the apartment. That was class.
Yeah. And it turns out she does do a spell in it.
Yeah,
a probability spell.
Just did it look like an arc reactor? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
So, just cast your mind back to, what was the last Spider-Man film called? What was it? Far From Home. Yeah. So at the end of that, what's his name? Jameson.
Jameson, yeah.
Yeah. He's on the big screen at the end, but he's the Jameson from the other universe.
Yep.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Was he? Sorry to interrupt. That was he the J. Jonah Jameson in the Andrew Garfield movies as well?
No, in the previous
Tobey Maguire.
The Tobey Maguire one, yeah.
Was Jameson in the Andrew Garfield movies?
No, I don't think
I don't think so. No.
Yeah. But what you've got to bear in mind here is that movie is set after what's happening right now in WandaVision.
And possibly after Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
And did you see
we don't know when that takes place.
Yeah.
See the new episode of the new Spider-Man movie name?
Far From Home?
Three names.
No Way Home.
No Way Home, sorry.
So that's kind of, he might be getting lost as well, but yeah, it's looking good. Like, I mean,
it does.
Well
I kind of I meant to go back and watch it, but what is it Agatha says about Pietro in this episode?
Fake Pietro.
Fake Pietro. She said that you wanted so badly to believe. I couldn't get him because he was so far away.
Because he was so far away and full of holes.
Couldn't use necromancy to bring him back from the dead.
So basically. She just she sort of intimating that she pulled another Pietro in from a different universe. Is that what she's getting at?
Is she saying that it's easier to get a Pietro from an alternate dimension than to go get one from Europe? Because, like, I know the export business with Brexit has been bad.
I think the intimation there is that it's far easier to pull in an alternate dimension Pietro than it is to
that is alive, reanimate one. Because there was talk of her doing necromancy and all that, but she was like, that's just too difficult.
It was too difficult, yeah. And like a lot of Doctor Strange as well was like folding the universe on itself, you know. So there's probably an aspect of that to it as well.
I like this. There's this one theory which relates back to the No Way Home subtitle. Somebody, and obviously they're still in production on that, right?
Yeah,
No Way
Pretty
Home.
true, yeah.
But they're close to the end. So somebody on a message board said, with much speculation, that they saw a young black actor wearing something red and blue. They
Red
don't
and
have
blue?
more red and blue. Yeah.
The Bloods and the
Would it
Crips.
not be black and red?
No, it might not necessarily be black and red yet.
Okay.
They said
Oh,
they
yeah,
saw
yeah.
a young black actor wearing something red and blue on the set, but they couldn't make out exactly what it was. But they thought it bore a resemblance to, if you cast your mind back to Civil War, the fucking hoodie ensemble that Spider-Man was wearing in that. They thought it bore a distinct resemblance to that. And that, again, to just further on it, that the Far From Home thing is the out that Marvel have to lose this Spider-Man, but bring in a different Spider-Man from a different dimension who could potentially be Miles Morales.
Well, they don't have to bring one from a different dimension because, like, Prowler already mentioned it becoming a nephew that lives in that neighborhood.
yeah.
Here's the question, though: does he have the exaggerated swagger of the young black?
I have no idea.
But
nobody's getting that. Okay, never mind.
The thing at the end, the Vision robot that they had made, though, the white one,
White Vision, yeah,
that was cool. But it's like in his head, he had like what looked like an arc reactor, like the triangle arc reactor.
Yeah.
And it was like they're taking the power from the Scarlet Witch that she had on the probe or something. And
I was going to say, is this how they bring Vision back?
I don't think it's going to be Vision because in the comic books, what happens? I'm not sure if they're going to do the same thing. Like in the graphic novels, what happens is it's basically the same body as Vision, but it doesn't have his personality because it doesn't have Jarvis.
Well, this is what I mean. Are they going to somehow get the personality that's in the X out?
Oh, okay. That actually be cool.
Into the White Vision body.
Well, here's the thing.
What I was
doesn't really have the Mind Stone, so it may not be able to properly process them. So in the comics, like Dennis was saying, or like Fancy Dan was saying, that when Vision went white, he'd gotten taken apart and put back together, and he became white. He was completely emotionless and basically became just a robot for all.
Because like there's still a part that's kind of got me in my head. It's like because it shows her in one of the earlier episodes. It shows her stealing the body in one of the security cameras. In this one, and then her memory, she doesn't steal it.
Yeah,
I would think that was
Doctor,
some kind of
doctored
footage.
Yeah.
To give what's his name the facility to go, well, she's bad, I need to kill her or do whatever I need to do.
Just to correct.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna just to drop back to Agatha Harkness for a moment and multiverses. In the comics, she teaches the Scarlet Witch, and whatever. But she's also the mother of Nicholas Scratch, who is a wizard and supervillain of the Fantastic Four. So,
which would be cool.
Are we finally going to see a good Fantastic Four movie?
Well, they said they got back to play Johnny Storm. They got Captain America back. He said he's going to be reprising his role, or something about him reprising his role as Johnny Storm.
there's talk of it, all right, but there's very scarce information on what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
But Chris
Or
Evans is
if he is
definitely
definitely
back.
doing anything.
Well, he's back in some context, definitely.
Yeah.
What I find really interesting is the other rumors that are outside of that, like Phil Coulson is supposed to be on the way back.
Well, if you got a multiverse, you have to bring him back.
Where did Phil Coulson end up?
Tell me you've watched
Shield. And
Shield.
Phil Coulson
What?
ended up. What?
Phil Coulson's dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers, lads.
In
Spoilers.
Agents of Shield, he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's dead
he's
in all
back.
versions.
but he's back.
Well,
though.
actually,
He went on vacation to Tahiti.
Seriously, Mick, have you not watched Agents of Shield?
No.
Man, do it.
I got
Yeah.
It'll be
So
it's
bad.
what?
No.
When did you stop watching it? Did you stop watching it around Ghost Rider series?
Ghost Rider, yeah.
Yeah, watch
What,
the
you
series.
like
Watch
Ghost Rider?
the season after, and go past because it was some of the best TV made in the last couple of years.
Did you not like Ghost Rider then?
No.
How many seasons of Agents of Shield is there? 5?
6, 7.
Oh, fuck me.
7.
Where can I start?
7.
4?
Actually, no.
nine.
Just start at the start.
Yeah,
actually,
start,
to be honest, mate, yeah, you could probably skip out the Ghost Rider season if you wanted.
Funny enough, I love Ghost Rider now. I kind of want to see that one.
I
like
enjoyed it. I
Ghost
thought
Rider.
it was good, but
What I was gonna put in
the
with there
weakest
was, like,
season.
is I actually would love to see the whiteboard that's in like an Area 51 style bunker that Marvel have, because they definitely have like a flow chart of how
they
one
do.
leads to the other,
Yeah.
and like, I think there's really intelligent people who are doing the Easter eggs and the tie-ins, like say a brand of something that occurs in another universe. For like, it's amazing the attention to detail. that
Well,
they're doing, like.
that's it. I suppose this all started in Agents of Shield because they just jump through time and jump through universes willy nilly, as I suppose from sort of season 4 or 5 onwards maybe, and it's it was good TV, like good storytelling.
You look back just when you're talking about the attention to detail, just in Far From Home. There's one, and I'm sure we've all seen it, that one clipped scene of that billboard with the coming soon and the numbers 1, 2, 3 ? Like things like that scattered around the place. You know, it's just fantastic, and obviously because Fantastic Four and Spider-Man share a lot of crossover villains, don't they? They do share.
Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah. Because they're all set in New York, like.
Amount of crossover villains.
Yeah, because they've got their home bases in New York, like, so.
I do know that Spider-Man and Human Torch are, in the comics, they're supposed to be the same age, and they're kind of frenemies.
I just really want this to be the gateway to bring the X-Men into this Marvel universe. Like a good set of X-Men, not a few terrible movies.
The most recent episode has revealed that Wanda had her powers all along. So, I mean, they're opening the door there
for mutants.
I'd love to see
Deadpool be the gateway, to be honest.
That'd be awesome. That'd be so good.
Yeah.
Disney actually allowing an 18+ movie like that to be the gateway to their Marvel franchise.
Just something crazy happening in WandaVision, and next thing he just walks into frame, look at the camera, and says, "What the fuck is going on here?"
it would be fucking perfect.
Yeah, it would.
That'd be so good. And Ryan Reynolds would definitely do it at a drop of a hat, like. So.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Reynolds is he's the epitome of Deadpool, isn't he?
Because I was never a massive fan of Deadpool in the comics, to be honest with you. I didn't like the wall breaking at the time, but then when you see
the way it was done in the movie,
it was just okay. It's like, oh, I get this. This is awful entertaining. But in the comic books, I was like going, because like I'd be rotating between Ultimate Spider-Man and you read Deadpool, it's going, it's just not good. It's just not a good story and stuff like that. It's like Ultimate Spider-Man's a better story, but then you just see it being done very well, Ryan Reynolds style.
So when is Falcon and Winter Soldier out? I actually was under the impression that's out next week, so that's 2 weeks away. So is it?
I think there's next week's episode of WandaVision. Then there's like
break, isn't there?
officially there's supposed to be a week break. I don't believe that whole there'll be a 10th episode rumor. I don't believe it.
It seems very odd for Marvel to finish it on 9 episodes, though. It seems like a strange number to finish on.
I like it because, as opposed to the Netflix, where they're like, "Oh, we have to slavishly stretch this out to 13 episodes," they're just making it. Well, the story is the story. It finishes.
Yeah, just 9 is a very odd number.
Yeah. Well, they have next week's episode, and then they have a week off, I guess, which is probably going to be where they do Marvel Legends Falcon and Marvel Legends. These Legends episodes that they have on Disney Plus, just glorified trailers. But and then they'll have Falcon the week after that.
Well, I'm quite looking forward to Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I like the fact that we don't really know a whole lot about it. In much the same vein as like all the speculation that we had for WandaVision at the start, and I know some of it we got right because I know Mick, you and I were on the same page when we were like, that fucking Bewitched 60s 70s nonsense is only going to last for a short time. And fair enough, it probably stretched out a bit longer. I like how they did it, but I really like that we don't know.
We still don't know. Like the fact that we're still here in episode 7 or 8 or whatever, and we're asking questions, and there's loads of questions, and there's loads to be teased out. Is fucking, that is top notch.
It is. It's great TV.
TV that makes you talk is really good TV.
And of course, then down the line we have even more greatness from Tom Hiddleston with Loki, which is like June or something, isn't it?
That's the one I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not too excited for Winter Soldier and Falcon. They're like 2 of my least favorite characters from the TV show and the movies. So I kind of like how they play off each other in the movies, but that's pretty much all I like about it.
I think they'll be good together,
If WandaVision is any indication, you're going to fucking love them immediately after this.
They were great. They were great in Civil War when, like...
Oh, yeah. I like the part where they play off against each other, but as heroes, they're not. It's like when you can move the seat up and stuff like that. Those sort of joke moments were good.
But I don't know, are they explicitly going to be heroes? I think they're going to be operating outside the law, in a manner of speaking.
It's going to be a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
Right? It's just going to be a bit like
the Morta, to be honest.
Yeah, so like I want to be surprised because I'm going in with very low expectations because Mackie, I like him as an actor, but I don't see him as a leading man. Anything I've seen him in where he was like one of the main characters, like main characters, the movie hasn't been great. It hasn't been carried.
Did you watch
Trust in Feige. Learn to trust in Feige.
Did you watch Altered Carbon at all?
Yeah, I didn't. Season 2 was just so poor.
Yeah.
It was just that. Maybe that's actually what's poisoned me about him, because I love season 1. I love the books, and season 2 was just so bland.
I had great hopes, but
because I went, oh my god, he was really good in the Marvel movies, and it's just now. And then they released some sci-fi movie recently where he was like he just wasn't. He was
a robot or something.
Yeah, and I've watched it. I
didn't watch the last 10 minutes. Yeah.
No, once again, it might be the material, but from everything I've seen, I don't know if he's leading man. And Sebastian Stan, I've liked him in everything I've seen him in, but he's never been a main character, if you know what I mean. He was good in The Martian, but he's only a side character. He's good.
That's why I think it'll work though, because neither of them and both of them at the same time are the leads. Now, what I will say for Anthony Mackie, and I wanted to double check the name of the episode, but if you go and check out Black Mirror's episode Striking Vipers, I think you'll see him in a different light.
Yeah, I can't remember when I stopped watching that. I haven't seen that episode, but yeah.
Stan he's a very good character actor. Like, have you seen the Tonya Harding movie with Margot Robbie or Robbie or whatever she calls?
No.
He plays her husband in that, and I did not know it was him. Until the film was over. He's fucking fantastic, and he's such a scumbag in it. Like, he's an abusive husband, and like he looks so different. And he's
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, he's such a scumbag in it. Really worth watching. That's a really good film.
I've seen the trailer, and it's like she just looks very funny in places. Like,
child abuse and all that kind of stuff is funny, yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
It's like when she starts giving out to
Let me get my pen and paper again. Hang on.
yeah. No, it's like it's like it's her mother is absolutely horrible, like, and pushes her into it. Her mother's played by the lady who's in the West Wing. She's like the press correspondent in the West Wing.
Oh God, yeah.
Tall, thin lady with glasses, but she is amazing in that. Yeah, that's a really good film. I think is it I, Tonya? It's called.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I just want to just revert back very quickly because I think when all is said and done, I know Falcon and the Winter Soldier is 6 episodes, but I think Daniel Brühl is going to be the standout in the whole.
Oh yeah, he was amazing in Civil War. Like he's basically the only real villain in Marvel who's won properly, other than Thanos at the end of
Have you ever
the
seen
first movie.
The film with Chris Hemsworth and himself playing Niki Lauda and
Rush.
Rush. What a film. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Film. That was directed by Ron Howard. Like that last sequence when they raced in the Nürburgring in the rain. Holy shit. Some of the best looking stuff I've ever seen.
Was that Ron Howard, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, he has a tendency to put out good stuff. I'm not aware of that.
He also directed Willow, one of my favorite movies.
I was going to say Willow was amazing, so I was going to say, we're about to fight if you're going to diss on Willow. Like.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say that Willow was bad.
No,
I'll tell you this as well for nothing, right? The fucking Dan Brown books, they're cat-melodian, they're waste your life for a couple of hours. But Ron Howard directed the movies, and by God, for the source material that's at hand, he does some job with those movies.
Yeah, true.
The
Those
movies are a
books-
great watch. The books
those
are
book-
cat-melodian.
Those books are all written like movies. They're written like screenplays.
Yeah,
exactly,
And
yeah,
the films are
yeah.
exactly the same. And they're
In
all
fact-
almost the same thing. They all have an oddball fella chasing them every time. Be it Paul Bettany whipping himself as he goes, or some other albino with something else wrong with him, or someone else. You know, they're all literally the same book. Like
They may as
And
well
it
be like
always-
a bad guy from fucking Bond.
And the bad guy behind it all always turns out to be the one guy that you thought you could trust from the start.
Best friend of the protagonist.
Yeah.
It's basically a Scooby-Doo story, isn't it?
Like they could have actually got
Robert
those
Langdon.
movies and made 5 National Treasure films with Nicolas Cage, and they'd be great.
I actually it's the worst form of print media, his books, but I've read them all. I don't
What?
hate them.
No, they're not bad books.
Books?
They just he just writes the same book every time.
I thought you meant books in general.
It's the kind of book you pick up
In the
as
airport for
you're
holidays.
walking through the airport on the way to holiday, and you can sit on a beach
Read on
and
the
read
plane.
it, like or read it on the plane. Yeah,
Have you ever read the Dresden Files?
Oh God,
yeah. I
They're
haven't
great
read
books,
any.
like- No, I
haven't read any of the latest ones.
They're terribly written, but I love them. They're just so pulpy.
Like I kind of don't
So-
like books that
yeah.
are written in the first person. You know,
Yeah.
like I did this and I did that. Like it's kind of a weird way of writing. But like there's 2 out now that I haven't seen in the last. He didn't write any for like a 4-year stint, and now there's 2 together.
It was a good while he didn't write any.
He was going through a massive divorce, and he was sleeping on someone's couch for 2 years through
Like-
that divorce, so he couldn't write anything.
When I checked out of that, he was actually after being bought in as like a knight of the fairy world. He was like there.
Winter Night.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was the
I've
winter.
got-
He was their enforcer. It was class.
Yeah.
Like.
I
Oh,
think that was the last one I read as well. Yeah.
It may.
Did you ever watch the TV series?
I saw the first couple of episodes. That actor is in something else. He plays someone's father in. Is it Arrow? He plays
Yes.
the Green
yes.
Arrow's girlfriend's father. He's the cop.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Paul Blackthorne.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
It was. I think the Dresden Files was so cheap, but I mean, they did a decent effort, but it needs like to have a budget of like a Netflix show at least or something, and just not have to.
Am I right in saying it was out around the same time as sort of Buffy and Angel?
It was a bit
After.
that.
It was after.
Just after, yeah.
I tell you,
It
the
was
best-
almost. It felt like it was riding the coattails of it or something like.
Yeah, it was trying to be the monster of the week sort of thing.
Yeah.
The best Dresden film you'll ever see is Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
God, I
That's exactly that film, where you had
fairy.
the fella from Bros was playing the Fairy King. Jesus, what's his name? He was also
Yeah,
Luke Goss.
He
Luke Goss.
was the bad guy in Blade.
Blade 2. Yeah.
We say bad guy. He had a very good reason for doing what he was doing.
He did.
But yeah, he was really good in that. Oh man, Hellboy 2 and 1, such great movies.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Classics.
Can't believe they didn't make a 3 and they made that terrible remake. Grr.
I don't know much about fairies and whatnot, but the best movie with fairies in it that I've ever seen is Bright.
I
Will
love
Smith?
Oh,
Yeah, I
right.
like
Yeah.
Bright was awesome. I know everybody goes, it's so bad and stuff, but I enjoyed it. I've watched it twice, I think.
It was all right.
I think that could have built a massive world. Yeah, if people
Showed promise for a franchise.
Well, it's kind of a movie, like so.
Yeah, I'm a real sucker for those kind of crossover stuff. I love Constantine with the super heavy religious stuff mixed into the modern world, and I love like fairy stuff, like high fantasy colliding with the real world as well. I think it's class.
It's like and I'm not sure if you've ever read them, but like the Constantine, like the Hellblazer graphic novels written by Gareth Ennis, the guy who wrote The Boys and Preacher. Like this is just so good, man. It's just so good. Oh, well, you don't want to watch it.
Speaking of DC Comics, the Snyder Cut should be soon.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting to see. I actually have a bit of hope. I have
a lot of hope.
I didn't.
Yeah, the only thing is Superman is in it. He's a fucking waster.
We want Shazam.
No, I think it'll be good.
Yeah, I used to be of the opinion that you could never polish a turd. But
You can roll it in glitter.
We can roll it in glitter. But like there's a movie called Kingdom of Heaven, which was an Orlando Bloom movie.
Yeah.
The cinema release was terrible, but the director's cut was amazing.
Yeah.
It was just one of those things that I went, okay, so this can be done. So it might have just Justice League might have been just destroyed at the chopping at the editing table or something.
It's possible.
There's a possibility it could be good. And Jared Leto's going to be in this one with the Joker.
Yeah.
Could be cool.
I like Jared Leto's Joker. I don't understand why people don't. That's just
It would have been great. I just didn't like Suicide Squad, but that was a terrible movie.
No, there was no redemptive qualities in Suicide Squad except for the continuing cast members that it left for the reboot.
Margot Robbie in Hot Shorts is always good for me, but
I'm not even entirely convinced in the reboot for that, but fair enough. It's the same fucking.
Holy Lord, lads, I'm wrecked.
So look, that's what's that? That's 17th of March, 18th of March or something.
That's soon enough now.
In fact, I think it's the 18th of March, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier is the 19th of March. So that's going to be a pretty heavy weekend.
I'm just looking forward to when they release Dune. I've been looking forward to that for so long, and it just got delayed. Fucking COVID. I could have handled the lockdown if I could have seen that movie already.
It's been 87 years.
I didn't count.
We better, I don't know, fill the air with some garbage here before it comes back.
Does that make that? What a prick. Jesus.
Was it him that put this next point in 5.9?
No, that was me.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about, well, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Well, we can jump on to 5.9, I guess, in case anybody didn't see the news on Paramount Plus, which is taking over from CBS Access. There's actually two things on this now that I want to make a point. Rugrats is making a return with the original voice cast, but as some kind of weird CGI monstrosity. So I saw a still from it and it looks kind of weird, but I'll give it a shot because, you know, it's Rugrats.
And are they going to be babies again, or are they still?
Yeah, no, they're babies. They're babies.
Okay,
it's like
so
the original.
Grown up never happened.
No, it's the original Rugrats run.
Is it a
basically.
reboot, like, or what?
I don't know if it's a reboot or a continuation or what the story is. I do know. I definitely saw Dill, so it's in that
What's
era.
Tommy's mom and dad called again?
Crazy scientist dude and weird hair glasses woman.
Yeah, it freaks me out that when I watched that back in the day, and I've now grown up, and I look back on it, those folk were in their 30s.
Yeah,
or meant to be, you know.
Stu was
Stu. That's it. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah. We're all
none of us have kids, do we?
No,
it's only
we're
Mick,
all in our 30s, right?
Yeah.
Oh, and beyond.
Fuck off.
But the other thing that's happening, which I don't know how many people are going to be happy about this, after dying a death after 15 seasons last year, Criminal Minds is making a return as well with a limited season 10 episode arc with what looks like a lot of the original cast plus new cast members. But Al made his feelings very clear on this with his...
When you say new cast members, is it going to be cast members from the spin-offs?
I don't think so, although I would like to see that because
that would be good.
Suspect Behavior was fucking superior.
Yeah, that only lasted one season, I think, did it?
Yeah. What was the other one with
it was like...
no, not Gary Sinise.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. What was that called?
Hang on, Gary Sinise.
Criminal Minds Beyond Borders.
Beyond Borders. That was it.
Yeah. That didn't even last a season.
I don't think so. No. Yeah.
No. It's
It was good as well, though. Like, for what it was. It wasn't terribly well written or anything, but I mean...
And I heard rumblings, which I know, Al, you might like this one. I heard rumblings, and I know I keep saying that it was a miscarriage of justice that this happened, but I heard rumblings for Star, right? Well, obviously Disney Plus have the extra channel Star, but I heard rumblings that there is going to be a limited season of Lie to Me.
Really?
Interesting.
Now that would be good because that was a very good show.
And I'll tell you why.
With Tim Roth and
Tim Roth is after Tin Star is a hot property again.
Well, they already have him back for Abomination in the She-Hulk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Is Tin Star a UK property? It's set in the UK as opposed to...
The third season is set in the UK.
I actually never seen it.
Who actually made that? Was it Sky?
I think Sky made it. So basically, Mick, I was saying that I heard rumblings that obviously I don't know how true they are, but for Star, because obviously Disney bought everything, which includes Fox, and Fox, I don't know if they made Lie to Me the whole way, but they definitely made the third season. I heard rumblings that they're talking about bringing back Lie to Me for a limited run, like 10 or 11 or 12 or whatever it is episode, fourth season.
Is it a show that kind of needs closure?
Oh, definitely, yeah. God, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I stopped watching it a couple of seasons back, but
it only got like 2.5 seasons, really. Like season 3 was a 13 episode season, and they cancelled it because now they did the Fox thing with it, where they shuffled it around different days and aired some stuff out of order, and
you'd have to wonder, why does that happen? Because like in whose interest is it to cripple a property like that?
You know what? It probably got to the stage. Tim Roth, for argument's sake, Mekhi Phifer was in the second season. Mekhi Phifer was written out because he was costing too much. Tim Roth potentially could have been costing them too much to have on a per episode basis. And let's be honest, there was no Lie to Me without the Lightman Group, and you can't have the Lightman Group without Dr. Lightman. So, But what brought me to that, Mick, was that Criminal Minds is being brought back on Paramount Plus, which is taken over from CBS. All Access, for a 10 episode season. So it's instead of your monster of the week, it's going to be a monster of the season, where it's over the course of the 10 episodes they're going to tackle a case, as opposed to starting and finishing a case in 1 hour, as they have been known to do.
That was a show no I'd never watched, like, but isn't that the show where they did have a kind of an overarching Red John or something like that? Was
they did for some of it. There was parts of it where there was one kind of guy pulling the strings in the background, but that was limited enough in how it happened. But overall I preferred the earlier seasons of Criminal Minds when Gideon was there and Hotch was still around, and
no Hotch, no watch.
No Hotch, no watch.
Yeah, it's weird all these shows making a comeback. Like, what's this? The new Dexter's making a comeback as well after that last season.
I never watched Dexter.
First 2 seasons were actually pretty damn good. Like, the first season's one of my favorite seasons of any TV show.
I would say you could watch Dexter up until the John Lithgow season, and when John Lithgow leaves, stop watching.
Yeah, like John Lithgow won an Emmy. Like, he was really good in this.
It was amazing season.
Yeah. Oh, when himself and Dexter kind of find out they're kind of a little bit like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
He just gets so excited. Oh, it's just so. He just blew it out of the water. But then John Lithgow's an amazing actor. Like,
funnily enough, I've never really watched Dexter.
I've read the books and
oh Jesus, it's so dark, man.
Yeah,
so dark. Like the
books go off on a completely different tangent, which is actually 8 times darker than what happened in the show. And it's fucking hell.
Like, it's like the first season is kind of true enough to the books.
Yeah, but when the shit with her kids starts happening, like the show steers away from that, and the book steers into it.
Yeah,
it's like, holy fuck.
Basically, it's like he starts training them to be murderers and stuff.
Yeah, so look, there's probably no one going to read them all. In the TV show, he's kind of gone out with an unmarried mother, and in the TV show, she ends up dead, and he fosters her kids. But in the book, they're his kids, and they start exhibiting serial killer tendencies. So he starts fostering that within them and teaching them to kill righteously and all that crack. It's fucking mad.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, that was lovely. There is one more thing which I would like to say that I read recently somewhere. There was discussions at HBO of again a limited run. It's always limited run, like 10 episode business, but a limited run of The Wire, which could be interesting. The Wire.
Are they going to follow Dominic West around Italy? See what he was doing with Lily Collins, is it?
I said, did you do all the pasta? I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah. No, it could be. That could be an interesting one. Like The Wire. Did anybody watch that?
Yeah, I fucking love it.
Yeah.
Fuzzy Dunlap, hero of mine.
Just, I remember watching it. It took me 5 episodes to understand what they were talking about. It was just amazing the language they used.
In this house here, like we've a dog, like he's greyhound, big black lad. Arlo is his name, and like myself and the wife have start taking off when Arlo comes into the kitchen, like and there's food on the table. It's like, Arlo's coming, Arlo's coming.
I was the Wire was great television. It really was. That was probably the pinnacle for me of anything that HBO has ever put out.
There's 2 shows that are due a rewatch for me, and one is The Sopranos, because it's so far removed now that I can't remember really any of it. Like, I remember bits and pieces. I remember his mother dying and a few other bits and pieces. And The Wire, then I remember different seasons, but it's all kind of blurred to me now about who's who. Like,
it's strange to say that. I was going through DVDs the other day and I found my Sopranos box set. And I was like, oh, aye, we'll watch that again. It was very good.
It was really good at the time, yeah.
I never watched The Sopranos.
Never watched it.
No.
Sopranos is one show that I know that they're not going to do a revival of.
No.
Gandalf dead, like, so.
No, wait, hang on now. You are kind of wrong there. They are, or there's a reported early, prequel show in the works.
Who directed that? Vincent Chase or something was his name, is it?
Is that not the lead character from that? What was that fucking TV show with Ari Gold and E and Turtle?
No, that was
Entourage.
Vinny. Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that sketch, the College Humor one. It was like every episode of Entourage ever. It's like, Vince ain't doing the movie. Why ain't he doing the movie? It was big. We're having a party. Why? Vince is doing the movie. Yeah.
That's big. Yeah, it's literally it was like,
every episode, yeah. Let's make fun of Johnny Drama.
Oh, Johnny Drama. Fucking hell. He was so good, man.
That was so good because he was playing up the cast as well, like, because his own brother was more famous, like, and he was. What's his brother's name? Luke Dillon.
Matt no.
Matt Dillon is the famous one. He's Luke Dillon.
He's Luke Dillon. Yeah.
Matt Dillon. Ooh.
Henry Cavill and as yet supposedly unannounced Mass Effect project. Any hazard a guess at what it is? Is it a movie? Is it a game?
Is it a TV series?
Isn't Henry Cavill fast becoming our king?
Yes.
Like, he's got muscles, builds PCs.
He was in The Witcher.
What is that?
He is the Mary Poppins of nerds. Like, he
probably means he just gets stuck coming down a chimney.
But you know what? The thing about it is, the dude has a lot going from, like, but he's very nice as well. Any interview, like he never comes across as a shitheel. Like, he's the kind of guy you'd like to hang out with.
Yeah,
and he's
maybe have a beer with.
He was
Henry?
in one of my favorite movies.
Best for your kid.
Last 10 years, like
I know he got lamped with the old Superman role, like. But
what you call it?
The CGI mustache.
The Man from U.N.C.L.E. If you've seen
yeah,
that.
I like that.
That was very good.
Brilliant movie.
That was very good.
Yeah.
And
that was very funny.
And that as the dick.
Yeah. But they were both dicks. Himself and Armie Hammer were both dicks in it. Like, it was a good shot.
It's just a scene where Armie's just being dragged along in a speedboat, and Cavill's just there eating some sandwich while it's going on, just chilling out.
He was fairly good as the dick in that Mission Impossible one as well.
Oh yeah.
The tagline I can't remember. Fallout.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible New
It was
Vegas.
It was that bathroom fight where he cocked his fist.
Where he reloaded his arm, literally.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. I don't know if anybody watches it, but The Handmaid's Tale is back in April.
No, it's a book I mean to read. It's only one book, so, but it's supposed to be grim as well.
Two books now, really.
Is it two now? Is it?
Yeah, there's a sequel book. I've actually never read the book. It's on my to read list, but I'm afraid by reading the books that I'm going to learn more than the TV series has shown me already.
I thought you were going to pause.
What's wrong with that?
I think they're being basically, as far as I know, Margaret Atwood has given them an outline of, in much the same vein as G.R.R. Martin.
That worked out well, didn't it?
Where it should end up, but unlike D&D, the people responsible.
Dragon come down, boom, and the boom, and the boom, and the bang, and the bang.
Yeah, the people responsible for The Handmaid's Tale are actually capable of making shit work.
That's about it. So the big dragon came down. Fight. Oh.
Dragon go bomber.
Yeah.
But anyway, Handmaid's Tale is back in April for anyone that cares. I'm looking forward to it because it's grim as all fuck, and it's really harrowing ideology behind it. It's fucking brilliant though. Do you know what I learned recently? As an aside, talking about two books, there's a sequel to To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh yeah, Ghost Set of Watchmen.
Ghost Set of Watchmen, yeah. I only learned that recently.
Well, it is and it isn't a sequel.
A few years ago, so it's pretty new.
From what I understand, Ghost Set of Watchmen began life as the actual initial original draft of To Kill a Mockingbird, but it was the story, but with a framing device at the beginning and the end, where Scout is reflecting on her childhood. But now it's been obviously
released as a standalone book, because my understanding of it is that Harper Lee wrote one book and just never wanted to write another book or release another book.
Yeah. From all accounts, that's true.
Leo, I know I'm laughing here, cracking up, but I'm just thinking like the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird. Is that where we met the Winter Soldier for the first time? It's like Marvel has us ruined. Like it's like it's all connected.
Like To Kill a Mockingbird is
that was the show about the show. That I actually haven't read that. That is the book about the guy who's friendly.
Atticus Finch and Boo Radley.
There's a murder, isn't there? Like someone get killed at the end of it.
At the beginning of
with a learning disability, yes.
Right? There was a crime.
No, what?
Got an eyes. What the guy they pin it on is like a black man with a wizard arm.
Are you thinking of Mice and Men?
Hang on. Wait a minute.
A wizard arm. +2 to armor.
No, that'd be -2 to armor for wizards.
+1 to picking cotton, is it?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
A white woman gets assaulted and they pin it on a black man. Scout's father, Atticus Finch, is assigned as the public defender to defend him. The family is outcast as N-word lovers, as is written in the book. And they go through the whole thing. He basically proves that your man couldn't do it because his left arm is withered. And he still gets hanged because basically he's black. And then your one's father.
At the end, they say.
Oh no, sorry, he's sent to prison and they kill him when he's escaping,
which he doesn't.
He doesn't escape. Your one's father, the little amount of credibility that the family had in the town, is ruined. So he makes it his life's mission to destroy Atticus Finch and his family, and he ends up attacking them and breaking Jem's arm, which is Scout's brother, and they all black out, and then they're saved by the reclusive Boo Radley. And the sheriff comes around and he basically says, well, there's no point in pinning this on Boo Radley because he's a recluse and we don't want to drag him into the public eye, so we're just going to say my man fell on his own life. End of story. Basically.
Thank you for remembering that.
It's some fucking 30 years ago. And that is one of 2 courtroom dramas that is in the the American Library of saving movies
of Congress, I think. Yeah.
But can anyone tell me what the other one is?
I know. My cousin Vinny.
No,
hang on.
That's in law school.
Citizen Kane.
Nope.
Oh, I do know this one.
Is it a courtroom drama?
It is.
Is it a book or a film?
It is definitely a film, and it could possibly be a book as well. I'm not sure.
It's that.
Was it originally a play?
It's about the children getting adopted.
Could have been
Kramer versus Kramer.
Nope.
Is it 12 Angry Men?
Ding.
Nice.
Fucking ding.
Do you know what? Isn't there a lot to be said for a good courtroom drama?
There is a lot to be
A
said
Few
for
Good Men or
drama.
The Juror or one of those films.
Matlock.
I'm glad they're dead. They killed him, and I hope they're bad in hell.
The guess for My Cousin Vinny was a good guess, though, because apparently in legal universities, where people who are doing law degrees get shown this My Cousin Vinny as an example of actual accurate depiction of courtroom procedure. Voir dire and all sorts of
We had 2 youths, and they went on the sidewalk. It's pa's attraction. The wheels couldn't have locked.
I was like, the favorite part is like, Your Honor, can I treat the witness as hostile? Oh, you think I'm hostile now? Wait till I get you home.
Trusting the fella who wanted to fight him all the time, and he just gave him $5 and jumped up and boxed him in the face and kept going like.
Oh, it's such a good movie, like.
Marissa Tomei won an Oscar for that, didn't she?
Yep.
Yes.
Left positive action. I just can't do the accent, but my god, it was just such a good movie. Oh, I want to watch that again.
Yeah, me too.
I bet you it is aged like milk.
No, I've watched it recently. It's still good.
I don't know, Mick. I hear that complaint a lot about now, and this is one of those things. A lot of people say that Goodfellas doesn't stand the test of time visually.
Oh fuck no, Goodfellas is amazing.
Yeah, visually though, they say it doesn't stand the test of time. It looks outdated.
How do they figure?
It's an unusual directing style because he does a lot of close-up, like making faces into the camera, like where your man's getting sick or where they open the boot and the body's in there and all that kind of stuff. But fuck it, it's a cracking film.
Yeah, Goodfellas is one of the best movies ever, and I'll fight.
I've still to watch The Irishman. You would think with all this time off work I should watch that.
I don't
It's
have
such a long
4.5
movie
hours to spare.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to start a movie and then decide for themselves where in the middle they want to pause.
Do you know what's like?
I think it doesn't feel at first that it's as good a movie as his other ones, but I think it's going to be one of those movies like a few years from now you watch it again and you go, actually, that's really fucking good. But you just have to be aware that you have to sit down for 3.5 hours for it.
I just wish they'd used the original title.
What? Oh, so I heard you paint houses.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's best time. We watched The Dig recently with Kerry Mulligan and Voldemort. It's surprisingly good film.
Fines.
That's some crossover, but
The Great Gatsby meets Lord Voldemort.
yeah.
Is The Great Gatsby worth watching?
Yes and no.
I read a really amazing book by Nelson B. DeMille or Cecil B. DeMille. It was called Up Country, I think it was. It was like The Great Gatsby. It was set in kind of New England, just outside New York. And a guy and a mafia fella moved in next door, and it was like neighbors from hell. Fucking cracking book, like.
And what was it called?
I think it was called Up Country. I'd have to Google that now.
I think we'll do it. Do you know what we should do? We should do a book review. We should pick a book and everyone read it and do a book review.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
The grumpy review will all be like, it's just spaceships with fucking things in space.
There's words and they're black on white pages. I am going to say this last one thing. Apparently the Eurovision still exists. It's a thing that is happening. Ireland have a song going in. Your one was on the Late Late Show the other night. They sent her up to the roof to perform it, and she mimed the whole fucking thing. So if that just doesn't tell us all about our chances, I don't know what does.
Well,
but I do quite like the Eurovision as a spectacle. It brought us 3 things of absolute joy. It brought us Rock and Roll Kids, which is a belter of a song and will remain a belter of a song. It brought us Riverdance, which is a belter of an act and will remain a belter of an act. And if anybody remembers, and I think it was 2010, MadCon did the break in the middle with a video cut from around Europe of different people doing like performance art, which was just bonkers. It was mad. It's well worth looking at.
I don't remember this one.
I think it was 2010. It could have been later than that. Could have been anything. But MadCon, yes, MadCon. If anybody remembers who MadCon were, they were a rap duo out of America who obviously had fallen on hard times when they came to perform at the Eurovision. Speaking of Eurovision, there's a Eurovision movie that I might look at because
That's actually
That's awesome. The story of Fire
Such a good show.
Oh, it's so
Yeah,
good, man. It's so good. Oh.
Play Yaya Ding Dong.
Don't spoil the jokes. I haven't seen anything of this.
Oh, that is go watch
I'll
it.
be going in completely.
That is class.
It's just. I think it's Will Ferrell's best movie in a long time. To be honest with you.
And the thing about it is that they're all very nice in it. It's not a mean-spirited comedy. It's like really good natured. It's all feel good from start to finish. It's really good.
Okay, all right.
Even
I might save that for a while for when I can actually watch it with other people again.
Even the dickhead is kind of, he's kind of the, what's his name? He's like the antagonist in it, but he's actually nice as well. You know, the other Eurovision contestant.
Yeah, and it was like the main dick is like his dad. It's
Yeah.
like played by Pierce Brosnan.
The most handsome man in Iceland.
Yeah. Who has the worst Scandinavian accent.
You were a disappointment, and the reason your mother left. Yeah.
I'm just
Actually, I might want to watch that again now.
Yeah,
We should
it's
probably
like-
do a live watch that or something with you.
before we wrap up, boys. I'm just seeing from IGN that the runtime of the Snyder Cut is 4 hours and 2 minutes.
Very good.
Oh, time to start watching The Irishman, I suppose.
You won't have any fucking excuses now.
With that said, any other business from anyone?
I think we covered it all.
Did we mention the Rugrats?
We did. Yeah.
We did. Okay, I missed that. I was
Did you
getting
talk
tired.
about the Mass Effect?
We did.
Mhm. That's how long this episode's been going on. We've forgotten what we've talked about.
Oh, there is one thing that I wanted to mention. We talked about the Loki hype. And it was just this one little bit of fun fact that I read was that Owen Wilson had not watched the Marvel, the MCU. So Tom Hiddleston took 2 days to actually give him a crash course on the MCU and all of what was going on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what's actually a great show with Owen Wilson? It's on Netflix called No Escape. It's set in Thailand during a military coup. Really good film as well. Kind of slipped under the radar.
But that's
Is
Pierce
it
Brosnan as
serious
well,
or
isn't
a
it?
comedy?
Yeah, he's in it as well.
Yeah,
He plays a
actually
Northern Ireland expat there. That's a really good film.
I was very surprised by how much I liked that movie.
Yeah, that was a cracking show.
Hmm.
Owen Wilson's actually a couple of sleeper hits there. Do you remember No Escape? Have you seen that? No Escape? Behind Enemy Lines.
Behind
Sorry.
Enemy Lines is the one where he crashes down, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like where
that
he
was
goes
fun.
to Serbia.
Yeah, that was a good movie as well.
I like the one drill what the fuck?
Drillbit Taylor.
Drillbit Taylor. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen
That was a decent enough movie, all right. Can't remember a single thing from it though.
He was all
He punched a child at the end of it, didn't he? There was like a child, a kid bully, and he gave
No,
him
your
a
man
box.
was 18. Your man was
Oh
18.
yeah, that was it. Yeah, he fought him on the front line.
Legally able to be punched by a grown man on the front lawn in America. I'm surprised that we've gone 3 hours without anybody mentioning The Expanse.
It's nearly 4 hours. Oh, I
We're
almost
closer
came
to
close
4
to spend.
hours. And yeah, it's been tough, but
I came close to it, especially when we were talking about Joss Whedon, because we lost one of my favorite characters from the show because seemingly he was a bowel boy too.
alright.
So I was like, and it's just.
Do you want to
just
talk
hurt.
about it, or
I
Who's
don't.
the bowel boy?
I'm still coming to terms with it.
He's still
Maybe
in
next.
grieving process.
Maybe
He's
next.
going,
month.
he's going through anger right now, I believe.
Who
just
who
feel
got
He
cut
avoided
from
the
The
poison
Expanse?
pussy.
I feel they did the character wrong to get him out of it. The show.
Who got the boot?
Cass Anvar. He's the guy who does the
Cass
voice
Anvar,
for
yeah.
Altair in like Assassin's Creed and stuff like that.
Right.
But he was the. Oh come on, Brain. He's the Martian who has the Texas accent.
he's
Yeah,
the
Oh, he's the
Yeah.
pilot.
he's the
Pilot.
pilot. He's Alex. Yeah.
What did he do wrong?
I think
Seemingly
he
a lot of things, but
possibly
allegedly, like
touched people in the wrong way when he shouldn't have.
No, can't be doing that.
allegedly.
Right.
Allegedly.
So,
anyway,
and the
he-
thing
More
is, because there's
Harvey
nothing
Weinstein
proven.
than just
Let's
Whedon.
wrap this up before we get ourselves in legal trouble.
Yeah,
here.
there's nothing
Yeah.
proven, and it's just a part of me because I love him in the show. To me, he is Alex. Because I read the books and I wasn't a massive fan of Alex in the books, but then you
Yeah.
just see him in this and he goes, he owns that role. He's
Oh,
so
he was
good
great in the
that
books.
role. But the wrong. It wasn't that I didn't like it. He doesn't get a lot of screen time in the first 2 books, is it? He's like
He
he's
doesn't get
there,
all- yeah.
but in the TV show, when he's there, he's just really good. Like he's just you can when you're not being mentioned in a book, even if you're in the same room with somebody in a book, you're not being talked about. If you know what I mean, it's like you're not being written about. But in the TV show, if you're in the same room, you can still see him there. It's just yeah. Oh, Alex, what a way to go. just felt so bad for the character, let alone.
Did he get killed off in the show?
Yes. Spoilers. Yes.
Okay.
In a pretty shit way, to be honest.
Did he
Just
have a
get-
bridge fall on him?
Say again?
Did he have a bridge fall on him?
Or a piano? Do you have a
No.
piano?
No, he was sitting in a chair and he had a stroke. Off
For
screen.
fuck's sake.
Just a-
Off-screen death. That's the worst kind of death.
When is the last book out? It was due around
November,
Winter.
I think. Yeah.
of this year.
This year, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
That's only around the corner.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
They could have at least done the character right and just say, look, okay, he had a stroke, but whatever, he doesn't die, but you let him retire on Mars or something. The character deserves better.
Yeah, I did feel the same. It was the one letdown of the season. I really enjoyed the whole season. But it was
My
the one
God.
letdown. I understand why they done it, but...
What was the reason for the stroke? Was it like that he didn't get his injection for the high-speed burn or something, is it?
Oh, well, it's written out throughout all the books that you might stroke out if you're doing these burns and all that and whatnot.
Fuck's
And yeah, but it's not actually alluded to at all
In the show.
in the show. It is.
Randomly happens, like he just...
It's just. Have you been watching it? Have you read the books? Or
I've read all of them. Apart, I'm waiting on the last
yeah,
one. now, like
so
that.
it's when it's when they're saving
Naomi.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Naomi.
I was talking to Dave No Cheese the other day. He was telling me there, that, like,
Shout out to Dave No Cheese.
Shamrock Bricks. Check it out.
Fromage Frey.
But he was telling me like that the Naomi escape from the what's his name ship was where he checked out, and like that's roughly halfway, I'd say, in the book series. There's a good bit to go after that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They do an amazing job with her this season. I don't know what it's like in the books, but like she was never like one of my favorite characters in the show. But she was like, I never had anything against her. But in this one, she just almost owned the season with just.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting mixed up in my head now where it goes in the books. Like, but I mean, I think you've read the books, have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a time jump.
There is a
coming
detour
up.
to the Mormon ship, we'll say.
Yeah.
Goes back to that.
Yeah.
That's the next book, I think. And then, yeah.
But they've only got one season left to do, so I think they'll probably do the time jump where other people just appear dead.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
For those of us who have yet to see much of it.
Don't you be ruling it for me now.
I think that's
because I don't see how they could wrap it up as a TV series in one season otherwise.
Well, then, if you remember season 3, they managed to put basically 2 seasons in one
Does Mick
season.
look frozen for anybody else?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I think on
That
that
is
note.
just so shocked about that news.
Right. So
Oh my god, speaking of.
we'll wrap it up there then, boys. Thanks for watching if you've made it this far, which I hope you have, because it's all very entertaining stuff. Our thoughts are wonderful. We'll be back in a month, as per usual, towards the end of March, with more riveting ideas, views, muse, and news, as they say. With that, it's and I'll actually do one for Mick as well now. Right? Here we go. It's a goodbye from me. And it's a goodbye from me, bye.
It's a goodbye from me.
Yeah, it's a goodbye from me as well, boys.
And it's a goodbye from me.
And
There
that's-
goes the visuals.
And that's screwed up the visuals as well. Thanks,
Chaos.
Mick, and your internet.
Chaos ensues.
Good night, folks.
Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.